Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
4 stops in 3 battleground states. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, and that's just one candidate's schedule.
Former President Donald Trump is hopping between states today. He's made his first stop in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Here's my only purpose in even being here today. Get out and vote. You know that.
At the J.S. Thornton Arena, the former president will also be rallying today in both Reading and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, followed by another in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Fox's Eben Brown. Vice President Kamala Harris will make 4 stops, all in Pennsylvania. But surrogates are hitting other swing states, including First Lady Jill Biden, making several stops in North Carolina.
With determination and persistence and urgency, we, all of us, we will elect a new generation of leaders. We will choose a new path forward.
Speaking earlier in Winston-Salem, time's up for the Arizona Secretary of State, facing a deadline today to provide a list of suspected non-citizens on its voter rolls.
Some 98,000 names of people to double-check they are eligible to vote. In September, Arizona state officials announced a data coding issue in the driver's license database that would have allowed at least one non-citizen to register to vote, prompting the concern there could be more.
Fox's David Spunt. In Iowa, a federal judge is allowing the state to challenge hundreds of ballots from potential non-citizens. A judge in Pennsylvania is hearing arguments over the Philadelphia DA's claim that an Elon Musk giveaway to voters amounts to an illegal lottery. Just getting word of a verdict at the Ohio trial of a former police officer charged with murder in the death of Andre Hill, shot while holding his cell phone in a friend's garage. The fired officer testifying he thought Hill had a gun. Again, a verdict is reached, but they have not read the verdict yet. America is listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The wet weather pattern will continue right through Tuesday. Periods of rain on this Monday afternoon. A couple of thunderstorms. 1 or 2 could go on the strong side. We'll keep an eye on that. 72. Tonight, periods of rain. A couple of thunderstorms. A windy 64. Tuesday, Election Day. Periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms. A windy 69. Clear it out on Tuesday night fairly quickly. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, St. Louis, are you in search of top-notch cybersecurity solutions? Look no further. ThrottleNet is here to help. Ransomware attacks are on the rise, putting businesses like yours at risk. Don't let cyber criminals jeopardize your hard-earned success. ThrottleNet provides comprehensive cybersecurity services tailored specifically to your unique needs. Our award-winning customer service provides 24/7 protection to keep your data safe and secure. Take charge of your digital security today. Protect your business, protect your future. ThrottleNet.com, your reliable partner in cybersecurity.
You're leaving for work, but the garage door won't open. Is it the opener? Is the spring broken? Now you're late and your car is trapped. Well, don't panic. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is here with same-day emergency service. They won't leave you stuck. The original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company, trusted in St. Louis since 1926. Call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Triton Exteriors, specifically my friend Tim Nesbitt, who is the owner. He is from the customer service business, 20 years in the restaurant business. So the answer is yes. What's the question? Anything you need. Hospitality, personal service. We're upscale. We're a James Hardy company. Roofing and siding and gutters and great value. Tim just texted me and he beat the next closest bid by $15,000 just this week. You can call 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
Right now, 38 states allow for sports betting, including 7 of Missouri's neighboring states. Amendment 2 gives Missouri sports fans the freedom to bet on games too, and that will generate over $100 million for our schools without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and Missouri's 2 professional soccer teams, the KC Current and St. Louis City. These days, Republicans and Democrats don't agree on much, but the Republican and Democratic candidates for governor are both supporting Amendment 2 because it means more money for education. Amendment 2 isn't like the lottery. There's a strong constitutional guarantee. The new money from sports betting will go to our schools. $100 million for education without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and the Kansas City Star. Vote yes on 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education. Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Oh my gosh, it's election week. Can you even believe that it is here? Tomorrow is election day, which makes today election eve. It's November. I guess you guys did a show in November already.
We did, yeah. We talked about the fact that there were no major October surprises, which was great.
No major October surprises. Is that true? I was thinking today, like, all of the things that we kind of braced ourselves for with the election, like this could happen, that could happen. They tried to kill Trump twice, that we know of. We don't know of we're not batting 1,000 on knowing the threats to Donald Trump's life, right? That's a given.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would think that that's any, not just president, but like anybody who's served in high levels of government authority. I mean, the people who are provided Secret Service protection. Mike Pompeo, we know that there are hits out on his life from foreign countries who hate him. That's just kind of the way it ends up being. But they worked really, really hard to try to stop Donald Trump on a wide variety of different places. And even if the people who, or the person, I guess, who shot at Donald Trump in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, even if it was just one person, we have a climate that is ripe for that type of behavior. And God willing, Donald Trump is still here, will still be here tomorrow, and we are excited to see what ends up happening. 97.1, top to bottom, online, on air, everywhere, is going to have the best coverage in the business for making sure that you are up to date on these national results, of course. So if you're on the move and you're not able to park it in front of a television and watch the returns come in, it's super exciting to do it. It's very nerve-wracking, but 97.1 is going to have that coverage for you. Also, Missouri and Illinois elections, there are a lot of things going on in Missouri. Illinois is kind of calm this cycle because they do their big statewide elections in the midterm cycles. We're going to have great coverage tomorrow. Why don't you just tell us about the on-air broadcast on 97.1, Ryan?
Sure. Starting at 6 o'clock, we're going to be in national coverage for just an hour, and then 7 o'clock, all of a sudden, boom, right back to local. So if you are going to be, obviously there are a lot of places, there are a lot of sources you can get the big national results, but the local sources are just a handful. So we invite you to come here, especially to find out the Missouri results, because there are a lot of them this year. And Mark Reardon's going to handle them all night. Of course, we're going to talk about everything, though, not just local. Everything that you can think of, we'll be covering it.
And then online on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, I'm going to be creating today the live stream for tomorrow. We will be covering the results as they come in, and online with the Annie Fry YouTube channel, we're essentially going to be having a watch party with you. So you might be listening to 97.1, you might be watching Fox News, also online with 7 different tabs open, looking at the New York Times results or the AP results or whatever it is. We're going to be doing the exact same thing that you'll be doing, but we would love to hang out with you. So I'm going to get that stream created here. We'll let you know as soon as we do, and you can go just give yourself that notification, subscribe to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, and set the reminder for when we go live. I think right now we're thinking about 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. But the beautiful thing about doing stuff online is we can be more flexible than on air, and we have every intention of doing so. We're also going to, on our Annie Fry YouTube live broadcast, be dipping in and out of the actual 97.1 coverage that's going to be coming from the 97.1 studio that we're in right now. So we will have the opportunity to bring whatever the Mark Reardon Show is doing, specifically with some of those Missouri returns as they come in. We'll be able to throw that into the stream.
And by the way, we talked to you, hey, if you're in your car, you're at work, whatever, on tomorrow night, we got you covered on the radio. But if you are one of those people, like Annie just said, you're going to be sitting there with probably multimedia, not just at your computer. You have your TV on, you probably got your radio on, you got your computer in front of you, and you have a bunch of tabs open. One of those tabs you should have open is 971talk.com, because everything that Annie just said and I said is all going to be right there on the homepage. So you can kind of flash back and forth between several different things by just having that one tab up.
Like a home base.
Of our website, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm really nervous. If you follow me on X/Twitter, if you have, it's at Annie Fry Show. Every time I start to feel nervous and anxious about it, I tweet out, "Have you prayed for your country today?" Because, it is, those tweets are 100% correlated with my anxiety. So when I'm scrolling through Twitter and there's so much information and you see a lot of these tweets, and this is the problem, is that the feed that you have is catered to you. You've curated that conglomerate of information. Mine is catered to me, and I follow people who say things that likely I want to hear. I definitely want to hear it from them, but they also talk about things that I want to hear about. But I also follow people on the left who I trust with the way they present information. So is their opinion involved in it? Yes. But I like to see what the people who don't see it the way I do are saying, but I don't want to see it from the crazies. I am very, very done with the crazies, and they come from both sides. There are crazies on my side. There are crazies on the other. I don't want crazy. I think that the country is actually getting to the place, and God willing, we see this materialize in the results. I think our country is really, really sick and tired of other people trying to do the thinking for you. That you're ready to just consume information, whatever information you want to. You would really appreciate and respect the people who are willing to serve up truth and facts to you so that you can do your own thinking. The problem that has gotten us to the point where we are here on Monday, November 4th of 2024, the problem is that information is such a commodity today that we have created an entire media structure that uses that commodity, that trades in that commodity to affect some sort of pre-desired outcome, which means the truth is always out there. The people at MSNBC, they know the truth because they can't do what they need to do with that information until they know where the starting point is. And the starting point is always a simple piece of fact. It's a simple piece of truth. And if they don't like that truth, now they know the assignment. And Americans have woken up to that. Now because the mainstream, the network media outlets have so filtered truth and information. Man, I'm sitting in the hotel room this weekend. Went to the state volleyball tournament. Very, very proud of, I think it's 152 elementary schools in the state of Illinois. Our volleyball team finished 4th place.
Congrats.
It's
That's
a
awesome.
very, very amazing weekend. I've watched some of these girls in this team go through so much to push through to get to that. And, you know, we played in the semifinal game to get into the state championship game. And I don't know how much y'all know about volleyball. We won the first set 27-25. I think we lost the second set 25-21. And we lost the third set 25-18, I think. All three really good games to Stewartson, which is a little town in central Illinois. Southern Illinois represent. But when you go, you've talked about this before, like the stories that cut through. When you're in tournament weekend, you're somewhere else, you're in a foreign land, you're in a hotel, you're eating out all the time, everything is upside down, and some stories kind of cut through. Well, I'm sitting in the hotel room, and the Donald Trump comments on Liz Cheney are circling the Twitter toilet. And I'm like, what is this? What did he say? And then I hear what he said, and I'm like, what are they saying that he said? Yeah. And I'm watching the most high-profile people come out and just hitch their wagon to the biggest pile of bologna sausage you've ever seen in suggesting, the suggestion is that Donald Trump wanted Liz Cheney to go in front of a firing squad. And there is nothing further than the truth. And the actual ironic thing here is that Donald Trump was making a classical liberal point by saying Liz Cheney is a war hawk that wants to send your kids into battle. How would she like it if she were the one who was being sent into battle? How would she like it if she were the one who was having to face down the threats that she so willfully will send your child in front of? How would she like it? That's something the left used to, that was like standing on principle. The protests that I've seen from the generation that came before me were centered a lot around the principle of, what are we doing here? Why is American blood being sent out for this? And Donald Trump, the guy on the right side of the aisle, is the one saying, we need to stop being in these wars. And you can go back and look at his actual resume of things that he's actually done as the commander-in-chief. He got us into no new wars. And Kamala Harris is supported by the Cheneys, and the left's like, yay, Cheneys? This is the upside down. You have entered the upside down, and we can make it right side up tomorrow. In a big, big, big way. The leftist media, David Muir, who is not, he is a robot. Like, I think he's an animatronic.
ABC guy.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy that did the debate. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, watch him. He is an animatronic made for a Disney World attraction. And they're like, that doesn't even look real.
Yeah, when I say guy,
Put
I
him
meant,
on ABC.
Yeah, I meant humanoid robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robot overlords. Send them to ABC Network News and debates. David Muir goes on there and leads with, do you know, I did not know that he was the anchor of ABC News, maybe until he did the debate.
Yeah, that's when I figured it out too.
I don't know who this guy is, and I still don't think he's real. I still think he's a program. On a program.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads. Why is his head always turned to the side when he's talking to you? Why can't he look at me straight on? Watch him. He turns his head a little bit. What's his jawline doing? That's not a real jawline. That's not real. You don't look at a man like that and go, yeah. It's not real. David Muir with his eyebrow up and his head turned to the side and his jawline staring at you with the bull crap that he's spewing into your living room, talking about how irresponsible it is for Donald Trump to be saying Liz Cheney should be in front of a firing squad. I'm like, get the heck out of here. Why? You're such a dishonest person. It's not a matter of a perspective on a story. It is a 100% definitive choice. He's making an active participatory choice in trying to deceive you because David Muir doesn't want Donald Trump to get elected. And this is your network news. This is the stuff that was on television when you were growing up at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and it was on because you had 7 channels and you needed to know what was happening locally at 5 and nationally or globally at 6. These are the people you trusted. You didn't have the internet to Google things. And how ironic that while you have the ability to have all of the information at your fingertips, like you couldn't check that stuff when we were growing up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just trusted them.
You trusted them, and you just felt your gut.
Yes.
And you're like, I can't really prove that something seems off here.
Yeah, maybe you subscribed to Newsweek magazine and you flipped through it to just compare notes. But those people had much more ability to lie and deceive you. Now, David Muir and his freaking jawline are out there lying to you through his perfectly white teeth. And you can just tell. You can just go listen to Trump yourself. You can go find what Donald Trump said yourself and go, David Muir, that's not just a bad take. That's a lie. You're a liar. You're deceiving people who aren't willing to do the work. And that's what it's come down to. And there are people who are A, not willing to do the work, and there are people who are B, know that he's lying and are glad that he's lying to the people who won't do the work.
I understand that he had a bent in that story, and he was trying to lead you down a path that you would think something that wasn't there. But at least he was able to set that aside for the debate and be nonpartisan.
That dog food's getting to you. Do you know how many people I've shown the dog food video to?
I hope zero.
Oh, I'm like, have you seen the dog food video? Man, every Lutheran school across the state of Illinois, I'm like, can I introduce you to my friend Ryan Wiggins? He had dog food.
You know what? That's only going to be beneficial to me if Big Bone Company comes along and does one of the sponsorship.
Wild Bone Company?
Yeah, whatever they call it. Big Bone.
Them and Large Deborah.
You know what?
You might be on to something there.
You know
it's
what?
It's the Big Bone Company, and you're like, what does this do?
I'll buy it. It sounds good.
Helps
Sounds
you gain
wholesome.
weight.
That story you're talking about, though, what's amazing about that one is that it is uniquely positioned that there are some leftists, not all, of course, not David Muir and not many others, but there are some leftists on Twitter who are like influencers. This is what they do, calling out other leftists on Twitter, going, look, there are a plethora of reasons that we all hate Donald Trump. I think Bill Maher said this. We don't like this guy. He's very inarticulate. He has to explain away some of the things he says, you know, like all this stuff. That's true. But that comment, you're just lying about. These are leftists saying this to leftists.
Like the main leftists.
Yes.
Like knock it off. And not just the leftists, but the neocon right. I've seen so many of the people who have gone out and said, like Kamala Harris is the lesser of two evils here. Like, I could never support a Trump, blah, blah, blah. But they're known for being probably the Bill Kristol-esque Newsweek. Was he with Newsweek or something like that? What is this publication?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but
the Bulwark.
I know. These are the people who are like staunch, old hat Republicans who hate Trump more than they've ever hated a Democrat in their life. And they're like, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. I feel like we're at that point where Republicans and Democrats and independents, people who have to make their bills, people who know that they got to work hard, people who want to be independent of having to rely on the government for every provision in their life, they're finally saying, I think I'd like to think for myself. I don't need you to fearmonger me into being extra afraid of Donald Trump again on Sunday and on Monday and on Tuesday. I'm capable of thinking for myself, and I think that I'm going to make sure that you understand that. And God willing, say your prayers that the country chooses to send us in a direction that fortifies, especially the Bill of Rights. It's election eve, and I'm so excited to be here. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to speak with Congressman Mark Alford. He is Missouri's 4th congressional district representative in Congress, and we're going to talk to him about the importance of voting across the state of Missouri. Missouri, you have a lot of important decisions to make here on a statewide basis, but of course on a national basis as well. U.S. Representative Mark Alford next. Don't go away.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
STS-Armory.com. If you call them at 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS, you are going to understand why Illinoisans trust STS Armory with everything Second Amendment. Purchases for firearms, ammunition, safety devices. I have multiple safes in my house to make sure that I can exercise my Second Amendment confidently in a home with my family, of course, being in there. I want you to understand that they it's not just about selling. It's not just about merchandise. It's about education. It's about knowledge. It's about assistance with the goofy state of Illinois and how they police your Second Amendment rights. If you have a question about your FOID card, if you don't know what a FOID card is, it's the first step in being a firearm owner in the state of Illinois. You go to STS Armory and they walk you through without ever belittling you once. They are going to get you flexing those Second Amendment muscles with confidence and responsibility in no time. You've got the right people in Katie and Jesse. They're located in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, at the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive. Reach out to people who are operating this business as a family-owned business and support them in your support for your Second Amendment. 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, but online at sts-armory.com.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
My name is Alad Gross, and I'm running to be your next Attorney General because our Attorney General sucks and we really need a new one. He's wasted so much of our money and blown so many cases, he doesn't even keep count anymore. As Attorney General, I'll stop scam calls, crush corruption, protect our families and our freedoms, and shut down abusive puppy mills. This election, don't just vote for party. Vote for good government. Vote Alad Gross. Paid for by Alad Gross from Missouri, Frederick Doss, Treasurer.
At Hampton Manor of Wentzville, they go the extra step to make sure their residents feel special. Mark Cox here for my friends at Hampton Manor. I recently stopped by there. You know, their veterans are celebrated with special recognitions, including special pastries created by their pastry chef. They have their own private chef. They'll even feed you lunch if you stop by for a visit at this great senior living community off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. Schedule your appointment today at WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall weather is on its way. Time to schedule your heating system check to make sure you heat your home safely. Schedule your heating system check today at aircomfortservice.com.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is happening now. Tune in to the Annie Fry Show live stream. Vote and be a part of the conversation by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Subscribe and leave a comment.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. Stay the night, but keep it up.
let's recognize what I think a couple of your guests have already said, which is the Trump voter is a different voter today than the Republican voter of 20 years ago. In fact, the Trump voter of today was a Democratic voter of 20 years ago.
Many of them.
And going back to Pennsylvania, if you get those people in the middle of the state, blue-collar jobs, middle-class people to turn out, then Trump wins. And it's very hard. It's very hard for pollsters to do that because it's new. It's not patterns that you've seen in the past.
Well, that is a former Securities Exchange Commissioner, Jay Clayton, talking about the importance of showing up and showing out, because the electorate, as we understand it right now, it's not the same as elections in the past. And the fact that we've had Donald Trump on the ballot now for 3 cycles, it's been different each and every time. Our YouTube live chat poll, we want you to come hang out with us there and say hi. Also vote right in the live chat portion of today's live broadcast. Are you a Trump voter? You're a repeat Trump voter, a first-time Trump voter, you're not a Trump voter, or you're not a voter at all. We want to know from you where you fall the day before Election Day. How important is it to get out there and vote? Well, let's talk to our next guest about it. Congressman Mark Alford. He's a representative of Missouri's 4th Congressional District. Congressman, thank you for being here today. It's good to have you.
Well, thank you so much, Andy. We're out on the road right now in the 4th Congressional District, going town by town, county by county, encouraging people to get out for Trump and against Amendment 3 in Missouri.
Talk to me specifically. We can get to the Trump part because that's, of course, a conversation for everybody. It affects everybody. But Amendment 3 is such a huge issue in the state of Missouri. Talk to me real quick about the amendment and what is so important for people to understand when they're choosing yes or no on this particular one.
Well, I sure will. It's very important that people vote no on Amendment 3. This all came about through the initiative petition that is in Missouri. I think we need to change that. But until we can get that done, people are going to put things on the ballot through simple signatures, and this is one of them that will be enshrined in the Constitution of the state of Missouri that will legalize abortions and sex change mutilations for young people, minors, without the consent of their parents, and taxpayers could possibly be put on the hook for this.
It's outrageous.
The language is so deceptive in this. It talks about reproductive freedom and reproductive health care. Abortion has nothing to do with reproduction, and yet the left, the Democrats, the progressive woke mob of America have twisted the language and have gotten this on the ballot, and people need to be aware of what they're voting on.
Congressman, this is Ryan Wiggins. There's been a lot of money spent trying to pass this amendment, and I'm hearing that most of that money's from out of state. What are some messages that people have been just bombarded with that you're like, no, that is not accurate. You need to know the truth?
Well, I think the number one message that the left tries to propagate and promulgate on the American people is that this is about telling a woman what she should do with her body. And look, I firmly believe that we're talking about 2 bodies here. 2 bodies connected by one umbilical cord. And it's not about the simple health care of the mother. This is about exterminating the life of another human being growing inside of another body. And so when we're talking about abortion, we're talking about the death of something I believe is God's creation. I truly believe, though, that we need to change the way that we talk about abortion in America. We need to come alongside the mother. She is just as important as this baby. And I firmly believe in life-affirming care for the mother and the baby that God is growing inside of her. 2 bodies connected by one umbilical cord and both precious to God.
Oh, I amen to that. 100% agree with that. I'm a huge advocate for life, and I understand that there is a moral, ethical principle that needs to be discussed, in my opinion, first with our culture, and then hopefully downstream in our politics that it reacts to it. I would ask you, Congressman, to push the Republican Party to really uphold the idea and honestly invest in the idea of adoption for these families. I feel like the Republican Party is dramatically missing out on the opportunity to talk about adoption as an alternative to abortion, and I think that is the pro-woman message that needs to be added to the mix.
We had a prayer rally here in Cass County in the western part of Missouri. A couple of hundred people turn out Saturday specifically for 3 reasons, really: to defeat Amendment 3, to protect Donald J. Trump, and for a free and fair election tomorrow. we had two incredible testimonies, one from Melissa Oden, and you can go to our website or our Facebook site, Mark Alford KC, and check it out. Melissa Oden survived an abortion. And if people don't think this can happen, it happens on average 7 times a year in America where the babies are aborted and they live. And she is one of those to testify to that and what she went through and what she's going through now. She's reconnected with her birth mother and has a relationship with her. The other person is named Danny. She's had, I think, 10 children altogether, but 7 of them were aborted.
Yeah.
And she lives with that guilt and shame, but she is turning that around and trying to be a message to other people that abortion is not a viable birth control solution, and that's what she was using it for. We do have to offer help and guidance for these moms. That's one thing the Shiloh Center in Cass County is doing, coming alongside women, educating them, encouraging them, giving them alternatives to abortion. And God forbid, if this does become enshrined in our Constitution tomorrow, where abortion is legal in Missouri, we have got to make sure that we are even more so encouraging women to choose life, and we can help with that.
Yes, and to show up with that support and back it up and care about the life the entire way through. I completely agree. We're speaking with Congressman Mark Alford of Missouri's 4th Congressional District. I want to shift gears a little bit. Amendment 3, you've got a huge advocacy against Amendment 3, of course, but also on a national scale. Donald Trump is on the top of the ballot. Missouri, I assume, will feel a little bit of a Trump lift down ballot. Are you feeling like people are motivated on the red side of the aisle right now to show up? I mean, it's kind of hard to advocate much more for early voting because we're pretty much there. We're pretty much there right now. How are you feeling about the enthusiasm for Republicans so far?
Annie, I am 61 years old. I have voted in every election I could since I was 18. I went with my dad as a child to vote, and went with him in the polling place, and we grew up voting on Election Day. It was almost like a national holiday. I have never seen this type of voter turnout, especially for early voting. The Republicans, led by Donald Trump, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker Johnson, Steve Scalise, we have been on a encouragement campaign to get people to vote early. Republican conservatives want to wait till Election Day to do so, and I understand that. But if you're in a, God forbid, a car wreck or you're sick or something happens, a family emergency, and you can't vote, then your vote doesn't count. And so I am so encouraged by the numbers. I think in some places 2-1 Republicans are turning out over Democrats. The other thing that I'm encouraged by, and I just got off the campaign trail with Steve Scalise, helping other candidates out in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and other states in the Northeast, trying to help flip some of these blue seats to Republican and help us grow our majority in the House. But there are people in record numbers switching over to the Republican Party. You talked about it in the previous segment. Union workers, the fabric of America, people who work with their hands and they get dirty and they just want to be part of a normal America. And that's what we're offering. We're offering normalcy. We're offering common sense, and people are moving over. I'm very encouraged about tomorrow.
The only concern that I have, which will remain to be seen as the results come in, is that I've used this. I've tried to simplify it. If you've got 100 voters and 100 of them used to vote on Election Day, and now 90 of them are voting early, and 10 of them show up to vote on Election Day, you still got 100 voters. Do you feel like that there's been an expanse in who's showing up to vote, and it's not just a shift of a date and time of when they're voting?
I think we have energized, and Donald Trump has led the way on this. We have energized Republican voters to get out and actually make a difference. It did not happen 4 years ago, especially Christians, I think, who sat home because for whatever reason they didn't think Donald Trump was the perfect guy. And look, he is not the perfect guy, but we're not electing Jesus Christ to the presidency of the United States. We're electing a flawed person just like you are, just like I am, to go there and be a voice of reason, to sit behind that resolute desk and be the resolute leader that we need in a time of trouble where we have enemies who want to kill us and we have enemies within who want to do the same. And I'm telling you what, I think Republicans are realizing that it's time to get out there and make a difference to truly take America back. And if you're listening right now and you don't know what it means or you're offended by what that phrase is, take America back, then I don't think you have an understanding of just how close we are to going over the edge. I think this is the last hope for America.
Congressman, what do you think is the number one issue driving voters in Missouri specifically?
It's all about security. I've been saying this for 2 years now, and I ran on this, and I've encouraged President Trump, and he's picked up some of this as well. This is about security at our border, to make sure we have a secure border and that some 11 million illegal aliens do not end up as voting citizens that can sway the control of the House and sway our elections. And also, we need security in our economy. This current president, this administration has done nothing but to drive our economy into the ground with its war on fossil fuels. It's driven up prices for everyone, record high inflation. Yeah, inflation has come down, but gas still hasn't come down. I was just in a meat market here in our district. Bacon is $9.36 a pound. I can't afford to eat bacon anymore. That's crazy. And yet that's what the American people are living with. And the third point about security, you've got border security, economic security, and our personal security. People simply want to feel safe. And with what's been going on in our local governments and our prosecuting offices and the influence by George Soros to turn criminals out onto the streets, and Kamala Harris is a big part of this, people do not feel safe in their homes or in their towns. And we've got to restore that. Donald Trump's going to do that, and that's going to drive people out to vote.
Congressman Mark Alford, thank you for being with us today. As you represent the 4th Congressional District in the state of Missouri, across the entire state, we are hoping for just a lot of clarity on this Amendment 3 for tomorrow, and a great election where everybody turns out and has their voices be heard. We appreciate you sharing your voice with us today here on our show.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you. Please pray for President Trump. Pray for the defeat of Amendment 3, and pray that we have a free and fair election tomorrow.
Yes, all of that. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you so much, Congressman. We look forward to having you back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I echo all of those sentiments. Great to speak with the congressman there from across the state. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America, the Monday Roundup, the things you might have missed over the weekend, which should probably all be news to me. Maybe. I didn't look at your stories, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, good, because there's...
Just turning you loose.
There's a wide variety.
Okay, well, I'm going to tune into the next segment.
Okay.
Along with you. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. We need your feedback, folks. Want to know what the Annie Fry Show audience is made up of right now. Are you a Trump voter? And what does that mean? Are you a repeat Trump voter? A first-time Trump voter? You're not a Trump voter, or you're not a voter at all? Annie Fry YouTube channel and the live broadcast. You'll find the live chat. Go vote there. Wiggins America, next.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
Air Comfort Service is there to make sure that you are in your comfort zone, whether it is blazing hot outside or freezing cold outside. And we're shifting into, gosh, it looks like fall. Looks like autumn outside right now, doesn't it? Some of the leaves still on the trees, but now a lot of them are on the ground in the rain. It's just cozy weather. But it's only cozy if you're cozy when you're inside your home and the temperature is the way you want it. Have a heating system check done by Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. So when you're looking out your window at the weather and it looks chilly and frigid and just uncomfortable out there, you are snuggled up in your comfort zone in your home thanks to the maintenance of Air Comfort Service. If you can't remember the last time your heating and system service was checked, it's time to call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. I recommend purchasing one of their maintenance plans, which takes the worry and the thought out of it for you. You're putting your system in the hands of the people who know exactly what to do. They will not take advantage of you. I'm a customer of theirs multi-times over with my HVAC system, and I encourage you to do it as well. 314-513-0091. You can find them online. All the details available at aircomfortservice.com.
Missouri's Amendment 3 is cleverly worded to convince you that it only allows abortions until fetal viability. But it has loopholes that allow for abortions through all 9 months of pregnancy. Abortion proponents used to say safe, legal, and rare. But now they want abortion as common as the morning after pill. Plus, minor-age children will have access to sex change surgeries without parental consent. Vote no on Amendment 3.
Paid for by Leadership for America PAC, John B. Royal Treasurer.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25RHINO.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Are you a Trump voter? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. You find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Are you a Trump voter? Are you a repeat Trump voter, a first-time Trump voter, not a Trump voter, or not a voter? Those are the ways you can answer the question, are you a Trump voter? 1246. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk is your home for Election Night 2024. On air and online, we're covering the races that matter most to you with real-time results and expert commentary. Democracy 2024. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins. Oh! Monday Roundup. Yeah! This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Like I said, I got stuff that's all over the board here. So before we get into the election stories and some of the other kind of weird ones, let's start with this one from Halloween. Dentist over the weekend says that it's not a trick. Eating Halloween candy is better all in one setting.
Say what? Wait, like eat it all at one sitting?
The dentist says...
wait a second. Better for who?
Better for your teeth. Better for your teeth.
Oh, not her. Not the dentist.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess.
Because I have questions.
Yeah, the dentist wants you to. The dentist wants you to go to sleep with a piece of hard candy in your mouth every night. That's good for his business. But he is saying that if you don't want to come see him as often, it's better to eat all of your candy in one sitting, because a few pieces in one sitting is better than spreading it out. This way, your teeth are battered with sugar all at once, and you can brush your teeth or even drink water to clear it out. If you're eating a piece of candy here or there throughout the day, your contact time with the sugar will end up doing more damage.
So what they're saying is you're going to eat X amount of candy a day after Halloween.
Yes.
Just whatever you're going to eat, pick a time and eat it all.
Just do it. Yep.
Don't graze.
Yep. You know what? And my Dr. Ty Parker, Fountains Family Dentistry, told me the same thing before, not about candy.
Nice.
But he said the same thing about soda. He said, if you're going to drink a soda with lunch, go right ahead. But just have it. Don't be sipping on it all day because it's much worse for your teeth. Although I would think that it's probably better for my blood sugar if I'm spreading it out. So,
well, I don't think your dentist is really worried about your blood sugar.
I don't think he is either.
I mean, that's probably not entirely true, but mostly.
I think that's not his area of concern.
He might be concerned, though, because he's your friend.
He is my friend. Yeah. And I told him, Dr. Ty Parker, I have diabetes.
Sort of.
He's like, well, spread your sugar out then, my man.
Is that how he said it too?
Not really.
Okay.
In my head, all my friends speak that way because we're just friends. We're just hanging out.
I wonder what you sound like to them.
Probably similar.
I doubt it.
My man.
All right, next one. Voters can't wear campaign garb into polling places in most states. It's a law in South Carolina. I was going to say South Dakota. It's a law in South Carolina, not a courtesy. And that sparked almost a fight in Orangeburg County at the end of last week. The phrase that was on the person's hat is what was in contention here. Now,
is it like, I love my country?
It just said
Did it just
America.
say America across the top?
It just had a trash can on it.
Get out of here. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about here, though. Not that specifically.
Garbage take.
But I don't know if you've seen the videos of people going to the polling places wearing the garbage
Are people
can
doing
outfits or wearing a garbage bag. You really
Garbage
can't
vest?
say anything against that because it's a political statement, but it's non-specific.
Right.
And that's kind of where this is. It says state law doesn't allow campaign materials within 500 feet of the entrance to a polling location in South Carolina. And that rule isn't limited to candidates. It also means voters can't broadcast their support of anyone on the ballot by distributing or wearing hats, shirts, buttons, pins, flyers, anything. But a voter didn't want to remove his hat, which said, "Let's go, Brandon."
He's not even running.
That's true. I didn't even think about that fact.
He's not even in the race.
That's very true. If you assume that that's about Joe Biden, which is, you could make a case.
That's not even what they were saying. Let's go, Brandon is just a filter on a news report from a reporter probably innocently peddling fake news.
Hey, this guy could have had a friend named Brandon that he was encouraging to go.
Was it the best day or the worst day for Brandon's everywhere?
I'm not sure.
I guess it really depends
on which side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah,
because I was texting my friend Brandon McQuet that day, like, "Hey, man, let's go, Brandon."
Let's go. He's like, "Where?"
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And probably within a week, he saw every bumper sticker in the country. The argument escalated. Now, this is kind of a side part of the story because really the point is, can you wear that kind of thing? But the argument escalated between the voter and the poll workers after cursing and being told he couldn't vote. The voter threw his hat toward the bystander in line who was videotaping the dispute. Then he turned to confront another poll worker who told him to leave. The poll worker appears to slap the guy.
Slap the hat wearer?
Yes, which he wasn't wearing anymore.
Wait, the poll worker.
So he cusses at somebody. Probably says, like, "Blank you, I can wear whatever I want."
No, he said, "Let's go, Brandon,
Yeah.
you." What's your name? Let's go, Jane.
Jill. Yeah.
Karen.
But the poll worker then looks like she slaps him, and people stepped in to hold them back from each other, according to the video circulating. Now, but the question is, what about "Let's Go, Brandon"? The article goes on to explain he probably has a legal case here because he wasn't wearing something that is specific to a candidate, especially like you said, not even on the ballot.
No.
So that's an interesting one.
That is incredibly interesting.
If you wear a hat that says like Obama sucks.
That's a good question because
The
he's
same
not
thing as
on
"Let's
the
go,
ballot.
Brandon."
Yeah. He's not on the ballot. Wait, Brandon's even more ambiguous because it's not even saying
indirect.
a candidate.
Yeah.
So I think the garbage bag thing is probably a good example of that because most everybody's going to know the political statement you're making, but you're not actually saying anything about a particular candidate.
Yeah. What if I'm just aspire to be a garbage man?
Yeah, or wear garbage products.
That.
Come out of the closet in the election.
Yeah.
This is how I identify.
I know that this is bad timing, everybody, but I love wearing garbage. And I didn't know
What
how
are
to
the
tell
odds, man?
everybody.
Oh, man, I've been doing this for months.
Oh, no, now it's political. All right. Here's a really weird one that I thought I had to bring up because it's so strange. Olivia Rodrigo, to explain who that is, Gen Z.
She's a music star.
All right, thank
Pop
you.
star.
That was that first bump song that we played.
Didn't know we had Gen Z in the
You're
room.
kidding.
No.
That was Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah.
See, that's how much I know.
Yeah, we're
but
shocked.
Well, good for you.
She has an out-of-this-world date question. Whenever she goes on a date with somebody, which I'm sure is not contrived at all. You know, I'm sure she's just like swiping right on a dating app. Well, it's Olivia Rodrigo, sure. The biggest red flag, she says, and is a very oddly specific question that she asks guys on first dates. I always ask them if they would want to go to space.
What are the consequences of saying yes or no?
Well, that's my question for you. Do you think that Olivia, you want to go on more dates with Olivia Rodrigo?
Me?
Yeah, put yourself in these shoes.
I'm happy.
Do you answer yes to this question? I do want to go to space, or no to this question? What do you think
No.
she's looking for?
I don't care what she's looking for, but my answer is no.
Okay.
There's part of me that wants to go to space, so
Yeah.
I would say.
So you would say yes?
Yeah, I think I'd like to.
I would also say yes.
No,
Do you
you
want-
guys don't really want to do it.
Yes, I
No,
do.
you
Hold
don't.
on. Whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa,
no, no.
whoa.
If you got an all expenses paid opportunity to go to outer space, you would say yes.
Like up and down with Blue Horizon or whoever.
Up and
yeah.
down's kind of the worry.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say yes.
I would absolutely do it.
No, the worry's not up and down. The worry is up,
Up and
that's
boom.
it.
Up and stay or down really fast.
What is scarier, going up and then not being able to come back home and just floating in outer space till you die, or blowing up?
Blowing up is scarier, but you'd have a longer time to sit there and, sing David Bowie, really. I'm sitting in my tin can, far above the world. And you just sing it for eons. Because I'm sure you wouldn't starve or anything
I
else
have
first.
to imagine that's a bigger fear than blowing up.
I
Anyway,
like how the segment's just over.
to
we don't even know what
conclude,
she was doing.
if you wanted to go on more dates with Rodrigo, you would have said no.
Get it, girl.
Because she says if you want to go to space, you're too full of yourself.
Checks out.
Says Ethan, who's in space right now. Oh, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Steve Moore, Trump economic advisor on the election. Don't go away.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
Civialaw.com, SIVIA, civialaw.com. My husband and I just signed our documents a couple weeks ago to make sure that our trust was complete so that we could lay out, especially when it comes to what's going to happen to your children. We have, of course, 4 minor-aged children. That's all laid in right now. Also, how do you want to take care of each other? Your living will? If something happens to one another, how do you want that to be handled? When you work with Todd Civia and the amazing staff team of attorneys at Civia Law, you are going to be cared for. You're going to be able to answer questions that you wouldn't even know would need to be answered so that everything is prepared for you ahead of time. Then you sign the documents and then you exhale. It's really that simple. From the time you call them at 833-995-WILL, you are going to be able to set up your strategy session, that first strategy session, in 2 weeks. You can have signed, completed documents. 833-995-WILL, 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 civialaw.com.
Mark Cox here. Did you know the Rockwood School District is a great place to work? They're currently hiring school bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and custodial staff. They have openings in Adventure Club, which is before and after school care. They offer competitive pay, flexible work hours, and a rewarding work environment. Discover the Rockwood Advantage and join an amazing team. Go to rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs.
You've been waiting, and now is the time. Golden Oak Lending has fixed mortgage rates at 4.875%. But don't wait, this rate won't last forever. Call today and take advantage of our low 4.875 fixed rate. Call 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.784 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A thumbs up on election eve. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the signal Vice President Kamala Harris gave to reporters as she headed to Pennsylvania for a final day on the campaign trail, beginning with door knocking in Scranton.
She'll then head over here to Allentown for a rally, and from Allentown, she'll head to Reading for an event with AOC and Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro, and then she rounds it all up with two major concerts in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia, starring Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin, and Oprah.
Fox's Brian Yennes. Former President Trump also campaigns in Pennsylvania and in Michigan after an early rally in North Carolina, where he had a message from Mexico's new president.
If they don't stop this onslaught of criminals and drugs coming into our country, I'm going to immediately impose a 25% tariff on everything they send in.
He told supporters in Raleigh he's leading and just needs to close out the race. Nationwide, the race remains a statistical dead heat in many polls. More than 78 million Americans have already voted. A fired police officer just convicted of murder in Ohio.
We, the jury, being duly empowered and sworn, to find the defendant, Adam Coy, guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Coy was investigating a complaint about a running vehicle when he shot a black man, Andre Hill, nearly 4 years ago. Hill was standing in a friend's garage at the time and holding a cell phone. Coy testified he thought Hill had a gun. Coy, who served nearly 20 years with the Columbus Police Force, now faces at least 15 years in prison. In Indonesia, a series of volcanic eruptions widening on the remote island of Flores. At least 10 people now reported dead. Some villages have had houses burned down, including a convent of Catholic nuns. America is listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The wet weather pattern will continue right through Tuesday. Periods of rain on this Monday afternoon. A couple of thunderstorms. 1 or 2 could go on the strong side. We'll keep an eye on that. 72. Tonight, periods of rain. A couple of thunderstorms. A windy 64. Tuesday, Election Day. Periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms. A windy 69. Clear it out on Tuesday night fairly quickly. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315, 800-296-3315, or go to oxcarcare.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Republican Adam Schnelting is a husband, father, and a soldier. As an Army combat engineer, Schnelting is trained to fight for us. He's trained to solve problems. As state representative, Adam fought to keep men out of our daughters' bathrooms and sports. He voted to cut our taxes and fully fund our schools. He led the charge in Missouri to secure our border and address the fentanyl crisis. He even earned the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Adam Schnelting for State Senate.
I'm Adam Schnelting, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Schnelting for Missouri, Mike Summer, Treasurer.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone, 800-211-4413. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-211-4413. That's 800-211-4413. 800-211-4413.
Democracy 2024.
We're bringing you the latest results, real-time analysis, and thoughtful commentary. It's Mark Reardon. Join me and our panel of experts on Tuesday night, November 5th for 97.1 FM Talk's Election Night coverage.
Democracy 2024. Election Night.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Let's listen to this report here real quick.
The big jobs report, and the prophecy came true. Jobs light, 12,000 in non-farm payroll. That is the lightest going back to December of 2020.
So not the best jobs report in the world that we just got there from CNBC and their jobs report. What does that mean as we are 24 hours away and less of Election Day being upon us? Let's talk to the man who's been guiding us through the whole thing the whole time. Steve Moore with us once again, Distinguished Fellow in Economics at the Heritage Foundation, as well as Trump Economic Advisor. His new book out, you can still get it right now, The Trump Economic Miracle. Steve, welcome back to the show. Crazy 48 hours in front of us right now. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, is it over yet?
I'm just waiting for it.
I think we all just want to see this over. And by the way, I really hope that, we get a decisive winner on election night. I don't want to see this go on for 3 or 4 or 5 days or weeks. I think we just want to see who wins. I feel pretty good about Trump winning, but anything can happen on election day. But one thing that did happen that we know about is that on Friday we got the worst jobs report in 3 years, which certainly contradicts the media and the Kamala message that somehow the economy is on some kind of tear. It is not. Not only are people still feeling the aftershocks of the, Biden inflation that drove prices up by now 20.6%, but also the job market has just come to a screeching halt. So that's not a good indicator. It really came at a very inopportune time for Kamala Harris. If you take out the government jobs, because, as you know, we've talked about this month after month after month on your show. So many of the jobs being created are just government jobs, which really don't count. I mean, the government can always just, put people to work, but we want people working in the private sector that are actually building things and creating things. And that number fell by, I think the number was about 30 to 40,000 people. We lost 100,000 jobs in manufacturing, construction, and business services. So, the idea that somehow we have an economy that's rocking and rolling, I don't think too many people believe that. In fact, 2 out of 3 voters have been saying they think that the economy is, fair or poor, not good or excellent.
We're speaking with Steve Moore with the Heritage Foundation. He's a Trump economic advisor as well. I want to ask you what might sound like an elementary question, but I know that you understand the importance of discussing this. When you get a jobs report, if a job is a job is a job is a job, when you're highlighting taking out the government jobs, what's the difference between an administration creating government jobs and non-government jobs?
Well, you can only have a government job if there's someone in the private sector paying their salary, right? So you've got, or else, the government massively borrowing, and we have a $2 trillion deficit. So why in the world, Annie, if you were running a company and you were losing a $2 million, $2 million a year, would you go out on a big hiring spree? I mean, that's what our government has done at all levels. And you've got massive, not just at the federal level, but the state and local level have a lot of unfunded liabilities on their pensions, so we don't want to see government employment growing. We want to see it shrinking, just like we don't want to see government spending growing. We want to see it shrinking. Now that this is in a recovery, a supposed recovery, we borrowed $2 trillion. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, the government spending is so out of control. Republicans have done it. Democrats have done it. We actually are hearing from Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, suggest that there is some cutting that needs to be done. I would assume you would like to see a cut here and there. What do you think about the Trump administration's ability to actually, for the first time, act fiscally conservative and stop spending and reduce spending?
Well, I'll just take difference with one thing. You said we can cut here and there. I think we can cut everywhere. I mean, look, this is a government that's underwater right now. It's sinking in debt. And if Kamala Harris wins, we'll see another $2 trillion in debt in 2025. They've just turned on the spigots, and they think this is called modern monetary theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's a new dingbat idea the left came up with, that they can just spend as much money as they want to, and they can just keep borrowing on the federal credit card. So I think it's a very dangerous situation. I think that Elon Musk is the absolute perfect person to go through this budget with a microscope and find out where all the waste is. We know, there's hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of waste. I mean, you could start with Trump coming in, and the first thing he could do is just eliminate the $350 billion they've allocated for the Green New Deal. Yeah. We don't need that. We can't afford it. We've got to get back to using it. If we subsidize all the wind and solar power, we're going more into debt. If we just allow the private sector to drill for our oil and gas, we get royalties, we get tax revenues from that. It'll lower the deficit. So the energy strategy makes absolutely zero sense, as I can see, as an economist. I mean, why wouldn't we be using our resources that we have rather than, relying on unreliable green energy?
We're speaking with Steve Moore as an expert, a distinguished fellow in economics at the Heritage Foundation, a Donald Trump economic advisor as well. Donald Trump. You've worked with him for years and years. I think that the economy is still going to be, if not the driving issue, it's definitely a top driving issue to get people to go to the polls and cast their vote if they haven't already. Do you believe that Donald Trump, being the bazillionaire that he is, do you think he understands what it's like to be in St. Louis, Missouri, and to not be able to afford bacon when you go to the store, and to not have to choose between what you're going to put in the cart? Does he know that Americans are dealing with that right now?
It's so interesting, Annie, because I've been traveling a bit with Trump, and then I've been traveling, a bit on my own, doing, surrogate events for him. And so I've been traveling all over the country. And what's so interesting is, for example, this past weekend I was in Chicago. And so I traveled through some of the very, very wealthy suburbs of Chicago. And all I saw was Kamala, 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 yard signs all over the place. Then I went into the working class towns, the blue collar areas, Trump, 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 Trump.
Interesting.
So he relates to working class people. Kamala is the the candidate of the rich and the elite. And so that is, really borne out by the evidence, but both in 2016 and 2020, that's what happened as well. Trump lost in 2020 because he lost the poorest districts and he lost the suburban, the wealthier suburban districts around the country. So the answer to your question is yes, I think he feels the pain of middle-class people. That's why they're attracted to him. He understands their problems. He wants to put America first. He wants to bring jobs and factories and companies back to the U.S. So, I think he's the guy if you want to secure your financial future, both for our country and for your own, what I call the kitchen table issues. Right. And by the way, I wanted to mention, that my book is number one now that I wrote with Arthur Laffer on Amazon. It's called The Trump Economic Miracle. And what we got, that's the thing that's so interesting about this election. You don't have to listen to people like me. You don't have to listen to all these talking heads on TV about what might happen if Trump is elected. We know what's going to happen if Trump is elected because he already was president.
Yeah,
right?
We can check the tape.
And we created the greatest economy, at least since Reagan was in office. So, it's not speculation. And by the way, we also know what will happen with Kamala. We don't know exactly, but she said, she was the vice president. President Biden said she was integral in every decision they've made. And she said there's nothing that they've done that she would change. So you're going to get 4 more years of this. And, if you're happy with that, then you probably should vote for 4 more years. I don't think many people are.
Yeah, many people are not. Yeah, you definitely aren't rolling the dice here. You know what you're getting with either of these candidates. Yes. One last question before we let you go. You mentioned being in Chicago. I know that you know Illinois very well. We have a bi-state audience here. I myself live in Illinois. Yep. If Donald Trump gets elected, I mean, I know what it's like to know about the red state stuff because Missouri has that pretty much in spades.
Yeah.
Does a president like Donald Trump, does the benefit of having that national office be in Donald Trump's hands? Do even the blue states get to benefit a little bit from it?
Yeah, for sure. I would almost say especially the blue states. I mean, let me just give you one concrete example. Being from Chicago, my hometown, and I love Chicago, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening in that city. But one of the things Trump has said is, we're going to let the education dollars follow the children and the families so they can choose the best schools. Now, I know St. Louis doesn't have the best, very good public schools, but Chicago is a disgrace.
Right.
So think about how many Black and Hispanic and low-income parents would now have opportunities. By the way, Kamala Harris is against that. She doesn't want to allow parents to send their kids to the best schools.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Like, how do you even?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, Steve Moore, tomorrow's a big day. Thank you so much for helping guide us through this election. When we talk next week, hopefully we will have a result and we'll celebrate.
I'll be celebrating.
Yes.
If I'm not celebrating, I'm jumping off the building.
No, don't, Steve. No, we'll need you for the next one. Don't do that. Thank you for being with us.
Later.
We'll
Bye.
talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Steve Moore is a distinguished fellow in economics at the Heritage Foundation, Trump Economic Advisor as well. His book, The Trump Economic Miracle, and the plan to unleash prosperity again is available right now. If you want to understand more about how Donald Trump was successful with his economy, you can read about it. He wrote the book on it, literally. All right. I want to take a quick break here a little bit early. We've got a YouTube live chat poll for you to go vote in. And as I was looking, I peeked at the number of votes so far, and we're at 379 votes, and we are not halfway through the show yet. Yes, go to the polls, vote, get out there, give Donald Trump the support that he needs in order to get back to the business of the people. Show up and vote. Bring somebody with you. Share the Annie Fry Show with folks if you want to have an extra voice on the issue with you. We'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy to talk to anybody about it. But you can also vote in a non-consequential poll, but a fun one. Are you a Trump voter? A repeat Trump voter? A first-time Trump voter? Not a Trump voter? Or you're not a voter at all? On the Annie Fry YouTube channel, come say hi. We'd love to meet you over there and leave your vote in that poll and join our family on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be back. Ryan Wiggins back in studio with Brad and myself in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, you find them online at igotfloored.com. If you're looking to shop local, please consider going to the experts in the business. Michael's Flooring Outlet. If you want to visit them online first, see what they have, read some of the reviews that they have gotten from actual customers, people who have gone through the process of purchasing at Michael's and understanding the value and the quality, the marriage of those two things is very important. If you go to igotfloored.com, igotfloored.com, you're going to find Michael's Flooring Outlet. They have 3 locations in the St. Louis area. They install in Missouri and Illinois, of course. You can find them in St. Charles County on Main Street in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70. You can find their location as well in Darting Prairie, the address and everything there online at igotfloored.com. They're also located in West County on Olive Boulevard, just 1 mile off 270 West on Olive. Michael's Flooring Outlet wants to guide you through your flooring purchase to help make sure you make a wise decision, a smart decision with your money and with your home, with your new flooring project. All the details, the reviews you need to learn about this company that's been in business for over 3 decades, online at igotfloored.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Honesty, integrity, humility, purpose. We're looking for people that share these values. As an officer in the Springfield, Missouri Police Department, you'll train in a state-of-the-art facility, learn special skills, and most importantly, learn that being humble through it all builds a better community. Our next training academy starts soon. Work hard and dedicate yourself to the craft, and I promise you'll have some amazing opportunities. Visit gospd.com for more information. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
I've been hearing so long about government mandates all these years. It's coming true unless something changes this year yet. Then maybe it could be stopped. If not, homeowners, if you need an air conditioner, if your air conditioner is old now, get the equipment that you can still get before they say you can't have it. Not to scare you, they scared you. I'm just saying, the equipment we have right now, unbelievably better than what you have because your equipment's 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 years old. So if you're looking and if your system's that old or if people are saying it's old and you new, I'm not going to waste your time. But if you call me, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of numbers. All right. So it's not the easiest. I have forgotten the number, even as many times as I put it up. But 314-293-2600 or go to the internet, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Monday afternoon, closing arguments with 2 of my best contributors, John Ziegler on the West Coast, Josh Hammer in Florida from Newsweek. It all starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I can't wait for tomorrow to be here. I can't wait for tomorrow to be over. I can't wait for solutions. But have you found yourself thinking, like, right now we still don't know. So if it turns out being bad, at least, I mean, this is, to me, feels 100% what the phrase ignorance is bliss, what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I don't have to be sad about anything. I can be anxious. I can be worried, but I don't have to know definitively that what I wanted to have happen didn't happen. So at least I've got that.
Yeah, it's like Christmas morning without the religious connotations. And half of the
It's
gifts...
just like when Jesus was born.
No, it's not like that at all. It's just like the gifts part, except half of the gifts are coal and half of them are things you want, and you have to pick your gifts. You don't know what you're getting.
Oh man, I've been able to distract myself leading up to this with volleyball, with the state tournament being this weekend. I was out of town all weekend, so I didn't just get to sit and like stew about it at home. And every time the election would come up, I would just be like, I gotta distract myself. I don't want to talk about it because I am the type of person. You guys know this about me. People who know me well know this about me. I'm the type of person that if something makes me uncomfortable or sad or just like some sort of negative emotion, I work to find an element about it that I can apply something to try to make something better about it. And I have one vote, which I have not cast yet. I'm going to vote tomorrow. Have you voted, Ryan?
No, tomorrow.
You have.
Yes.
Brad has voted. Ryan and I are voting on Election Day. Like that's all I can do, and it's empowering. I get a little bit of a high going in and voting and being like, I did the thing. It's not the same. I mean, can you imagine doing that? Do you get that feeling when you vote? You feel there's a sense of like a swelling of pride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Can you imagine going and voting in Pennsylvania? Like what that would feel like?
It might feel like even more of a relief than here.
Well, I feel like the application of going to cast your vote in Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or Michigan or what, any of these like super razor thin states. I vote in Illinois. I'm trying to think of anything that I'm voting on that I don't assume is predetermined.
Yeah, you're not even in our areas that.
No.
You're kind of in packed areas.
No.
So I get to vote for some tight races. Yeah, Jake Even.
So Amy Ellick is my state representative. If you're in Amy Ellick's district, I think it's the 111th. Please support Amy Ellick. She's wonderful. She knows exactly how to represent people well. I have a Republican state rep. I have a Republican state senator in Erica Harris, who is also amazing. Erica Harris is wonderful, and you should support her. She's so good at representing the district that she is serving. But they literally, I'm not going to show you guys all the map because I'm not going to show you exactly where I live, but I've shown you guys the map of how they drew the state representative lines around my house to draw me out of Katie Stewart's district to the point where the house that is literally across the street from me is Katie Stewart's district and my house is not.
Yeah, it's clearly done on purpose.
And I spoke to the minority leader at the time when that happened, because I've been asked many times to run against Katie Stewart, and I'm not yet. and I
hopefully you won't have to.
Well, no,
it'll be Jake Keevan.
Jake Keevan is running right now, but when they drew that map. The House Minority Leader goes, "You don't think that was an accident, do you?" I'm like, "Are you confirming that they found my house and did this on purpose?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, yes." He's like, "They all, of course."
So it's not even conjecture.
No, he was almost
true.
disappointed in me for even questioning it.
It's like so ridiculous.
Yes. So the house, if you looked at the district, it's like. I don't want to talk too much about it, but you could probably find the whereabouts of my house because there's just like this elbow of the district that is not including my home. But Jake Keevan, like everyone's Trump. Illinois, is Illinois going to go for Trump?
Yep.
No.
Oh.
Okay, Mondale. I'm voting for him, absolutely. And I think I'm very, very interested to see the 2016 Illinois Trump numbers, 2020 Trump numbers, and the 2024 Trump numbers in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
But if Trump loses the whole thing,
hey,
it's less interesting. But I'm very curious to see the trajectory, which you'd have to probably compare to the massive out-migration of the state because J.B. Pritzker stinks. I'm curious to see what Trump has been able to do in Illinois, which probably won't result in it being red on the map. And if it does, I'm not a drinker, but I'm going to be celebrating with something. I just want to see how that all materializes. In the 112th state representative district, which you are in, Ryan, that is a massive win for this Madison County area, which is right across the river from where we're sitting right now, for people to be able to show up. Like, if you're thinking in Illinois that you don't need to vote because Donald Trump's not going to win it, and that's probably all you know, and you're in Katie Stewart's district, you show up today or tomorrow. And I don't even care. Well, I do want you to vote for Trump. Vote for Trump. But vote for Jay Keevan. This guy, he is an actual, like, lifetime servant and not in the politician way. This is his first foray into politics, really. He's law enforcement. He has been around the whole district. He understands exactly what the people want as opposed to what the structure, the apparatus wants. You think about like swampy, even Republicans, people who've been there forever. He is a wonderful, wonderful selection to replace Katie Stewart so that the 112th Madison County areas actually have some real representation that fights for more than putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. Period products in boys' bathrooms is like the charge that was led by Katie Stewart. That and being the most aggressively abortion state that she can possibly make, the state of Illinois.
I had Paul Nicolucci on my show this weekend, who's a Madison County board member. I remember Kevin Schmidt in here last week.
It's my guy.
Your guy. And we were just talking about, how things going. Everybody's saying, yeah, it's going to be pretty tight, which is good because in Illinois, they try to draw them to where they're not.
Right.
And if you have a chance to pick off seats, that's great. And he is one of those, although he's an incumbent. Jay Keevan would be a picked off seat for Republicans.
It would be massive.
It would be big. And I was really encouraged because he's talking behind the scenes and stuff. The Illinois Republican Party, they're not going to spend money on ads in races they don't think they can win. I'm getting a lot of Jay Keevan ads. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of taxing Katie Stewart ads about how she just keeps voting for tax raises, which means they think that's a very winnable race right now.
And I get Katie Stewart ads a lot. Which is funny. I'm like, yeah, you spent them on me. You drew me out of the district. You spend that 0.7 cents on making sure that I don't vote for I can't. But go and do the research on where the money that gets invested into Illinois' 112th State House District, where that money comes from. Because Chicago loves the fact that in what I would say is now red Madison County, they have a Democrat representative in Katie Stewart, and they funnel money in there, and then they tell her how to vote. And Katie Stewart votes the way she's told to vote. If there's something, and when I say told to vote, by the Democratic Party that is operated out of Chicago, not by the people of the 112 at all. Katie Stewart led the charge to try to keep herself from having to have a Republican opponent on the ballot. She didn't even want to have to compete against anyone. If you want to talk about actual threats to democracy, what the Supreme Court in the state of Illinois ultimately overturned because it was bat nuts crazy what she tried to do and what some of these House Democrats tried to do in the state of Illinois. She did not want to permit a Republican to be able to run against her, and she signed on to legislation to push back against that. Like, what is Katie Stewart doing for the 112th district? Nothing. Katie Stewart is the representative in the 112th because they pump millions of dollars into this race from Chicago because she is a lapdog for the Illinois Democrat Party. And they are ruining the state. A beautiful, beautiful state.
The most amazing thing to me is that, how do we protect democracy? I think the Democrats get together in meetings around big tables with brunch.
I think that they sit on the floor and take their shoes off.
and they
Smoke a
go,
hookah.
how do we protect democracy? Because that's the number one issue that we're going to run on this year. How are we going to protect it? Well, one way we could protect it is to change the laws that nobody runs against us.
That'll work.
Would that work?
That
and
would,
they said, I
that
think,
would
yeah,
work.
let's do that. Let's do that one.
It's the most democratic thing we could do.
And if you can do it in Illinois, eventually in 10 years, they'll be doing it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Illinois is the Midwestern test kitchen for like democratic socialist ideas because we're flyover country. They do some things in California. They got a lot of libs out there, but everybody pays attention to when California and New York do these things. In Illinois, like 10 years later, they're doing what?
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, yeah, we know. Especially the people in Florida who left.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still here, though, and we are hoping for a great election day, and I don't know what's going to happen. Look, nationally, we've talked it a lot, but locally, I really don't know what some of these races are going to do because I feel like there's a lot of enthusiasm for Republican priorities right now based on the economy, based on all the things nationally that we talk about. That stuff really could have a big impact locally, but I don't know if the turnout will be what I think it is. It's too hard to tell the day before.
2 out of 3 people in this room who talk about and have been talking about early voting for a long time intend to vote on Election Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of interesting. That's like scientific, right?
Well,
Totally.
and
Totally the scientific.
I think you
From
said
the
this,
science.
too, that you intended to vote early.
I was looking for an opportunity.
And I was too, but the more I tried, the more I'm like, you know what, I can't, like soccer's going on and whatever else is happening. And I know where my precinct is. It's more convenient for me to vote on Election Day in Illinois.
Yeah, mine's like literally I could walk to it down the road. And I know that I will. Nothing will stop me from doing it. Like I said, if I'm not on the air tomorrow because I had to stay in line to vote at the beginning of the show, I will vote.
Manny Fry Show.
I was going to say, I've got this, guys. You make sure you vote.
You're like, so. Anything going on?
That'd be a great open to the show tomorrow.
So Annie's voting. We could break a little bit early here. You guys want to listen to some Trump ads?
Yeah.
Yes. Are they new?
They're new. They're like closing argument ones. And I've got the video to go along with it, but that's definitely got the auditory tickle that you want to definitely have. So if you join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel to vote right now in this break on the YouTube live chat poll, are you a Trump voter, repeat Trump voter, first-time Trump voter, not a Trump voter, or not a voter? We're all repeat Trump voters. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much to talk about with that. There probably isn't with you. You are what you are. If you are a first-time Trump voter, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Brad and Ethan, make sure you're looking to star some of those as we go through the afternoon here, and I'll read some of those on the air. But there are some very compelling closing arguments being made in ads, and they come with video. So if you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, even if it's for the first time you've ever done it, go subscribe, vote in that poll, and tell us if you are a Trump voter. Remember what I said the vote tally was before? Was it like 379 or something? We are now up to 451 votes in that poll. So come join us there. And when we come back, we will listen to, of course, the 97.1 FM Talk, some of the compelling arguments being made by the Trump campaign here at the end. And if you're on the YouTube channel, you can watch along with us and tell us, do you think they're effective? Let's go, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The Diamond Shop, you find them online at thediamondshop.net. Beautiful, beautiful pieces. The holiday season is right around the corner. It's November. So make sure that if you are shopping for jewelry, that you give the Diamond Shop the opportunity to show you why they have been earning the business of St. Louisans, of Illinoisans for decades. And by decades, I mean like over a century. They've been in St. Louis since 1910. They know what they're doing. Generationally, people come back to the Diamond Shop because of the great care and service that is provided. They do, of course, they have a ton of jewelry, watches, stuff for women, stuff for men available in their Clayton store. But they do more than just that. They create custom jewelry. They can do jewelry and watch repairs. They also can provide appraisals and they buy gold. So if you're in the market as we approach the holiday season, they'll do 6 months same as cash financing. Let me just skip right over Christmas and say if you're looking for a Valentine's Day gift and you want to check into that 6 months same as cash financing, we're in the window. If you go online, you can visit them, become a VIP. It's all right there at thediamondshop.net.
Outdoor Living Redefined, brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design, your trusted partner in crafting stunning decks, inviting screened rooms, and elegant porch overhangs. Imagine enjoying a crisp morning coffee on your beautifully designed deck, or hosting gatherings in a spacious screened room. Lakeside turns your vision into reality. Our skilled craftsmen use top-notch materials to create spaces that stand up to the elements and stand out in style. Elevate your lifestyle with Lakeside's outdoor living expertise. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today.
Right now, 38 states allow for sports betting, including 7 of Missouri's neighboring states. Amendment 2 gives Missouri sports fans the freedom to bet on games too, and that will generate over $100 million for our schools without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and Missouri's 2 professional soccer teams, the KC Current and St. Louis City. These days, Republicans and Democrats don't agree on much, but the Republican and Democratic candidates for governor are both supporting Amendment 2 because it means more money for education. Amendment 2 isn't like the lottery. There's a strong constitutional guarantee. The new money from sports betting will go to our schools. $100 million for education without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and the Kansas City Star. Vote yes on 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education. Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Well, apparently turnout is key, and such is the case for the YouTube live chat poll today, which is showing tremendous turnout.
15 away from 500 votes.
Are you a Trump voter is the question. There are a few options: repeat Trump voter, first-time Trump voter, not a Trump voter, or not a voter. Let us know if you're not a voter and you're voting in the YouTube live chat poll.
Come on, people.
What's up with that? 142. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Mark Cox here. I have put together my 2024 general election voter's guide with you in mind. The direction of our nation and our state is in your hands now. Visit 971talk.com to see the Mark Cox 2024 voter guide.
On that sunny day, didn't know I'd meet such a beautiful girl.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Which is coming down. She deserves a crown. But where is it now? Mama, listen.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Is there anything left to be said that hasn't been said? You know, like, are there people out there who have been so disgusted with Donald Trump for so long? It's like something that you just know. Donald Trump disgusts me. And then the Democrats are like, Kamala Harris, and you're like, that's worse. That's way worse. So then you're left with, what do I do? Because you feel like you're voting against your conscience if you come out and support Donald Trump. But what you have to really ask yourself is, okay, let me consider my conscience. Let me see if I can reconcile what it means to cast a vote for Donald Trump if I know that everything that we're dealing with right now, you are living in what Kamala Harris has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really that simple. But the only way to make it better for yourself is to cast a vote for the guy who you've been disgusted with for so long. Well, the Trump campaign is looking to appeal to people who may be looking for the reason to now vote for Donald Trump, and they have a few ads out. So we're going to watch a few of these ads and see very, very simply if they're able to make that case.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
Well, how was that?
Dang, it was a pretty freaking good ad.
I've watched that 3 times, and this is the first time that I'm getting teary about it.
I was like, you look like you're feeling the same emotion I felt when I saw it the first time. I don't well up, and I welled up. That's what I want for my country.
You know what does it? There's some good imagery in there. When that woman is like shaking her, I'm doing it right now.
That's Tulsi Gabbard.
That's Tulsi Gabbard doing that? Wearing the fatigues?
Saluting, yes.
That woman?
I couldn't tell because she's not dressed the same way. When she's going to salute and she's shaking and she's about to burst, dude, that's hard to get
I'll
through.
tell you where it got me was watching Elon Musk look up at that rocket.
Yo,
when
that's
he was
cool,
watching
too.
that come in, because that, like, I cannot think of something that is more America than that. That man said we need to go to Mars, and he is doing everything in his power to get us there, and he's changing the game when it comes to space travel. He's moved forward so fast, and NASA is just lagging behind. He's promising American entrepreneurship. Trump is promising that, and Kamala Harris is promising government programs. I want the entrepreneurship. I want that vision for my country.
He should have played that during the Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That ad's fantastic.
It is fantastic. And you know what? The thing that's fantastic about it is the America part of it. It's not the Donald Trump part of it.
He's not even in that ad that much.
He bookends it, and he's the catalyst to getting. It's. I know that it's a phrase. I know we want to make America great again, and I know that's catchy and it's great branding. And boy, a businessman comes up with and makes MAGA this huge, huge success. But the thing about that stirs you in your soul is the understanding of what is great about America, and that part is still true. That greatness still exists there, and you know that it's like just under the surface of a fresh field burn where you look around and you're like, gosh, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? And you look around and you see, the char of trying to burn what you know to be great about America, burned down to the ground where it's charred everywhere you look. But there is this freshness, this new life that is living right underneath it, that is just waiting to be recognized, to be seen so that it can flourish. And you know that you have this ability right now, whether you love this man or not, whether you're somebody who weeps over the thought of another Donald Trump presidency, and those people exist because you've loved this man, you've seen him for what he is for much, much longer than other people out there. But there are those of you who are disgusted with the way government is being managed right now. You're being disgusted with the idea that we're sending dollar after dollar after dollar that we don't have, that your children don't have, that your great-grandchildren don't have. That money keeps being sent overseas to help people who are not having to sacrifice for that money. That we have people in government who want to tell us how we're going to live our lives, what shots we're going to take. They're putting things... I understand the original idea of woke, to have your eyes opened to how the world really is. And then the flip side of that, where they took the idea of, the basic suggestion that you should understand that your lived experience is not the same as anybody else's lived experience. And the way you see the world is different than the way other people see the world, but you can look at the same world, see it differently, and come to the same conclusions. You can have basic foundational elements of agreement about what is good and right, what deserves to be protected, from very different perspectives, and the basic things that people see at you should not predefine anything about who you are. You in America, first and foremost, should be able to define who you are and what you stand for. We have worked very hard in this country, and very successfully so, to make sure that the book cover doesn't define the contents of the pages. We've worked very hard. We've shed blood over it, lots of blood over it. We're the only nation that decided we would kill our brothers and sisters over something that was morally wrong so that we could fight for a future where everybody could be treated equally. There is so much greatness in this country because of the willingness to invest in progress. And the progressives of this country are the last ones to acknowledge that. In fact, they need to snuff it out. The Democrat Party right now is the party of big government, is the party of big war, is the party of making sure that they can make every decision for you because they don't trust you to make it for yourself. They create the problem for you so they can sell you the solution with the money that they take from you. And you know this to be true. You can't afford this way of life, and they're doing that intentionally. They're making it so that you cannot afford this way of life, so that you need the government that they are willing to fund with your money so that they can have the power. And you know all of this to be true, but then you're confronted with this one final question that you can't get over. I have to vote for Donald Trump to stop this? The answer is emphatically yes, you do. You have to vote for Donald Trump to stop this. You have no choice. So much so that people who are dramatically leftist Democrats recognize that the Democrat Party that they served in, Tulsi Gabbard, ran for office in, a Kennedy, have said, this Democrat Party does not respect what I respect about this country. And the party is just a label. It's just a label that is being used to divide people further. Donald Trump is the only hope in this election to get us back on track. You have a choice. You have a say right now. You are still in the game. You still can make a difference. You can still show up to vote because on Wednesday, that's over. On Wednesday, we have results of some kind. On Wednesday, it's definitive. Now you can still get in there. You can still make that difference. This is an ad, an additional ad that I came across, and of course you'll recognize the narrator, Tucker Carlson.
Millions of Americans sincerely love Donald Trump. They love him in spite of everything they've heard. They love him often in spite of himself. They love Donald Trump because no one else loves them. The country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years has left them to die in their unfashionable little towns, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden. Whatever Donald Trump's faults, he is better than the rest of the people in charge. Donald Trump, in other words, is and has always been a living indictment of the people who run this country. That was true when Trump came out of nowhere to win the presidency, and it's every bit as true right now. Trump rose because they failed. It's as simple as that. If the people in charge had done a halfway decent job with the country they inherited, Donald Trump would still be hosting Celebrity Apprentice. But they didn't. Instead, they were incompetent and narcissistic and cruel and relentlessly dishonest. They wrecked what they didn't build. They lied about it. They hurt anyone who told the truth about what they were doing. That's true. We watched. America is still a great country, the best in the world, but our ruling class is disgusting. A vote for Trump is a vote against them. That's what's going on in this country.
Tucker Carlson?
I have a feeling that he just did that as a monologue and they thought, that's a pretty good ad.
That's what Tucker does. I mean, gosh, I know. Some of you listening aren't Christians. I respect that. I understand that there's a diverse group of people listening. And I'm not preaching. Because if you listen to the show, you probably are familiar with us. All of the funny, goofy things about our lives, all of the things that we talk about or care about or joke about or whatever. But I said this at the beginning of the show. Every time I feel nervous and anxious about what's going to happen next, I put on Twitter, have you prayed for your country today? And I feel nervous and anxious about this. I have a feeling you feel nervous and anxious about this. The most dangerous thing that can happen to that nervous anxiety that I have is hope. Because people are out there, like, I feel pretty comfortable and okay, hunker down. Like, it's not going to go well, hunker down. But then there's this little glimmer of hope. And I want to implore to you, the people listening right now who are Christians, I don't want to preach to the people who listen to the show for other things. I respect that you listen. I'm going to talk to the people out there who are praying people, if you've ever been a praying person. Know where your real hope is. Know what your real hope is for. Pray that God would bless this country. Pray that God would bless Donald Trump. Pray that God would bless Kamala Harris. But pray that God stays at the epicenter of all of this. And pray for peace, because that's where the peace is actually going to come from. I don't even think that the results, one way or the other, are going to necessarily bring us peace. So if you're feeling that anxiety, pray for a peace that passes understanding. It's the only peace there really is. 2 o'clock hour around the corner.
But you still deserve the crown.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-211-4413. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-211-4413. That's 800-211-4413. 800-211-4413.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. For people living in Missouri and Illinois, I want you to understand how necessary it is to have the Bagel Loan on your radar with Stewie. It's the only place you can get the Bagel Loan. Why is the Bagel Loan so special? For your mortgage, the one that you have right now, if you're not looking to move anytime or, get a new mortgage, I get that. But when did you purchase your home? How high is your interest rates? Have interest rates come down since you purchased your home? When you use a refinance, you do a mortgage refinance using the Bagel Loan with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you pay $0. Zero. Nothing. in closing costs in order to secure that lower rate. So this is a very sensible thing to do to make sure that you can lower those monthly payments as much as possible. Call him or text him directly, Missouri, Illinois, 314-324-4440, and ask him about the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Works for new purchases as well. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Republican Adam Schnelting is a husband, father, and a soldier. As an Army combat engineer, Schnelting is trained to fight for us. He's trained to solve problems. As state representative, Adam fought to keep men out of our daughters' bathrooms and sports. He voted to cut our taxes and fully fund our schools. He led the charge in Missouri to secure our border and address the fentanyl crisis. He even earned the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Adam Schnelting for State Senate.
I'm Adam Schnelting, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Schnelting for Missouri, Mike Summer, Treasurer.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
She's aiming to end on a positive note. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Are we ready to do this?
Vice President Kamala Harris in Scranton, Pennsylvania, leading a door-knocking, get-out-the-vote effort.
But over these next 24 hours, let's enjoy this moment to knock on a neighbor's door and in their face, even if we've not met them, know that we have a lot that we care about in common and that we are optimistic about the future of our country, that we love our country.
She's making 5 stops in Pennsylvania, where former President Trump also rallies today, in between events in Michigan and North Carolina. Earlier, sending a message to the new president of Mexico.
Former President Trump tells supporters at a day before Election Day event in Raleigh, North Carolina, that he is ready to affix a 25% tariff on all imported goods from Mexico, unless that country's new president deploys troops to stop the flow of migrants to the U.S.
Because if that doesn't work, I'll make it 50. And if that doesn't work, I'll make it 75 for the tough guys. And I'll make it 100. Then I'll make it 100.
The former president says he had such a deal with Mexico's previous president and is ready to make the same deal with the newly inaugurated Claudia Sheinbaum.
Fox's Evan Brown. A fired Ohio police officer is convicted of murder for the death of Andre Hill nearly 4 years ago.
A Columbus, Ohio jury Monday finding Adam Coy guilty in the 2020 shooting death of Hill, a black man. Coy, who is white, shot the 47-year-old 4 times in a garage. The former officer thought Hill was holding a silver revolver. Police body cam footage showed Hill was actually holding a cell phone and keys.
Fox's Laura Cantor. The video also revealing it took nearly 10 minutes for arriving officers to start rendering aid to Hill. Coy now faces at least 15 years in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The wet weather pattern will continue right through Tuesday. Periods of rain on this Monday afternoon, a couple of thunderstorms. One or two could go on the strong side. We'll keep an eye on that. 72. Tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, a windy 64. Tuesday, Election Day, periods of rain and a couple of thunderstorms, a windy 69. Clear it out on Tuesday night fairly quickly. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Mark Cox here. Did you know the Rockwood School District is a great place to work? They're currently hiring school bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and custodial staff. They have openings in Adventure Club, which is before and after school care. They offer competitive pay, flexible work hours, and a rewarding work environment. Discover the Rockwood Advantage and join an amazing team. Go to rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
Election night.
Live analysis, expert commentary, and the latest results.
Democracy 2024.
Join the conversation as the results roll in.
Your trusted voices on election night this Tuesday. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Gosh, tomorrow's election day. I just keep thinking tomorrow's election day. I've had this count. How do you remember me saying that election day was like 500 and something? I remember it being 536 days away.
It was around the midterms you started counting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I probably, actually, you know what? I'm sure I had a midterm election countdown on my phone. And then when we got to midterms, I turned it over.
That's what I thought. 2 years. And it's here.
It's here. I mean, it's here. What is your, I mean, okay, the YouTube live chat poll for today, are you a Trump voter? you have 4 options. You're a repeat Trump voter, you're a first-time Trump voter, you are not a Trump voter, or you're not a voter. So those last 2 are you're voting but not for Trump, or you're not voting at all. That's the YouTube live chat poll. We're all repeat Trump voters. That's obvious. Just generally speaking right now, Ryan, where is your headspace knowing that we are 48 hours potentially from knowing if Donald Trump's going to win the election or not?
I just feel good. Here's what's so stupid. Why do I do this? The whole weekend, in between sports, we had volleyball, we had kids, soccer, and stuff. When I wasn't doing that, I was just on my computer looking at data.
Because you're really, it's like therapy. But
in a way.
Or it's the other side. It's like a drug.
It's kind of both, but I just want to know. I want to know. And I feel like if I can get enough data, then I feel more in control maybe. So I have no idea.
Yes.
But that is what I spent the whole weekend doing, is looking at trends and not just polls, because we're talking about early vote now. So there's a lot coming in on that. And just watching, I do the same thing. I don't want to just watch Republican-leaning pollsters.
I don't need people to tell me, like, I know what I want to hear. I want to hear somebody who doesn't want to say what I want to hear. Say something that indicates, like, what row?
Exactly. Yeah. But I do want to hear the Republicans too. I don't just want to read, one side. And so I'm reading a lot of right-leaning pollsters who are very much on the I told you so bandwagon. 2016, 2020, 2024 is going to look like this. But at this stage, what's crazy is starting about Saturday, Sunday through today, everybody just starts to go, well, here's where we are. We got to wait now. And so the more you look at it, the more you're parsing out the smaller and smaller and smaller pieces where you're like, this isn't even valid anymore. I want to see big trends. I don't want to see, just mail in from Clark County, Nevada today and stuff. You want to see what's overall happening. And man, it's tough.
I'm going to ask you, Ryan, to tell me about any data points that you found that helped or hurt you in that endeavor. But Brad, first, like, where is your headspace? Waiting, knowing that you're on deck and it's the World Series.
I was just telling one of the guys out there before I walked in here, I'm ready for this to be over.
Yeah.
Let's get to an answer. Whatever it is, it's a Band-Aid. Let's rip it off. Half of the country is going to be joyous, and the other half of the country is going to be sad and angry and that sort of thing. I want it to go our way. I have no idea what way it's going to go. I think it was Drew. I was telling Drew, I feel like it's a Game 7. And, I feel like on paper we have the better team. But anything can happen in a Game 7. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So that nervousness, that anxiousness, what is going to happen? What happens afterwards? That's all building up. I actually, for the weekend, for the very first time this weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm done looking at Twitter.
I've had to turn it off, too.
I'm not going to look at this anymore because I've got people who obviously don't know what they're talking about on the left throwing out numbers, and I've got people who are obviously don't know what they're talking about on the right throwing out numbers. And I'm like, neither one of you are helping me at all, and I'm not finding a whole lot of, like what you were saying, the people that are kind of like lean left that are saying rut-row or anything of value. I don't find anything normal. This weekend seemed like it was a weekend of just bad data points intended to persuade. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to set this down. And so I did that for this weekend for the first time, and it helped tremendously.
That's not wrong. This weekend was full of bad data points because it's the last minute people trying to, they call it herding in polls, where they all try to come kind of to the middle so nobody's way outside other than that one random Iowa poll that everybody's been talking about. It made all the headlines. The headlines are about this one random outlier poll.
And that's what spun everybody up.
And it made everybody go crazy that Harris was going to win. Here's the crazy. I don't want to dive too into just this one thing because I want to talk about big trends. But that Iowa poll that was making headlines across the whole newsverse of the weekend from Seltzer / the Des Moines, Iowa Register and they have a decent track record. I'm not going to say they're great, but they're decent. They say, well, Harris is going to win by 3.
In Iowa.
In Iowa, which everybody's saying,
What if
well,
she does?
Hey, if this reverberates, that means she's also going to win Wisconsin because the electorate's similar, and on and on and on.
If Harris wins Iowa,
It's
we're going
over.
to know early that she is the one who won.
It's over. An hour before that poll came out, Emerson, also a very good, respected pollster, released that Trump was going to win Iowa by 10. So you talk about bad data.
Well, I mean, both of those are going to be used to subsidize what makes any particular person feel good about it.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. So aside from some of these really far outliers, what I saw over the weekend is that most Democrats, and this includes the CNNs, and this includes the people, top cable news, on down to just people on Twitter who are good at it, we're relying much more on polls because the last-minute polls have shifted just even a point or two toward Harris, and they were making projections based on those polls. Republican pollsters and poll watchers and data people were making predictions more based on early vote. Now, I find that voting is much more accurate, so I thought that was smarter to make predictions based on actual votes, but you're comparing the early vote right now to 2020. 2020 was real weird.
Yeah.
So it is hard to make predictions on that. But I will say this, just overall, Nevada early vote for Republicans is looking dynamic. Arizona is looking really good. And that's actually according to not just the early vote, but also the polls. So Arizona is one that even the leftist people are going, she's in trouble there. I don't know about Lake, but for Trump. And then Georgia doesn't break out by party, so you really don't know who's voting as much, but you can tell that areas that tend to favor Trump are turning out very high in early vote. So generally speaking, I would say Georgia, Arizona, Nevada are looking pretty darn good. Rust Belt, that's where it starts to get even trickier. The swing states, and North Carolina actually is looking a little more thorny than I thought it would.
So the RCP, which is the Real Clear Polling averages right now, have the Electoral College top battlegrounds Trump up 0.8, which is good. But then you go through the battlegrounds individually. In Pennsylvania, these are averages of the polls that they look at. Trump in Pennsylvania, Trump plus 0.3. North Carolina, Trump plus 1.5. Georgia, Trump plus 1.7. Arizona, Trump plus 2.7. Wisconsin, Harris 0.4. Michigan, Harris 1.2. Nevada, Trump 1 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. North Carolina and Michigan are the two I would be the most concerned about if I were Trump, although he could still win those.
But if he doesn't win those and he wins some of these others, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
it's
Pennsylvania.
Georgia is a must.
Yep.
Pennsylvania makes it so that he could win in any of these other places and manage to seal the deal.
And Pennsylvania's looking pretty good. Again, though, it's all these people, they've spent the last 3 months, probably most of them more than that, diving into these deep things and going, this and this and that. And at the last minute, they mostly move toward the center, which is weird this year because in the past they'd favor Biden or they favor Clinton. This year they're right in the middle, which if you want to look at really big trends, to me, that's the best sign that Trump typically overperforms polls. And right now they're just about tied. So
I think it's also interesting to look at the last minute. You're talking about these last minute polls that can kind of jump scare people a little bit and throw a wrench into the analysis. If everything's like Trump's kicking butt in all the swing states, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Iowa, 3. I think that, in my opinion, if Kamala Harris really thought she could win Iowa, she would go to Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
If she's not going to Kamala Harris is spending her entire day today, as I understand it, making 3 stops in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So she is, with her feet, showing the American people that she is dedicated to winning Pennsylvania, that's where she feels like her final effort is the most effective. I don't think she'd be in Pennsylvania if she thought that Iowa was on the table. Now, Tim Walz, I saw, is in Wisconsin and Michigan or something like that. I think that's where they hid him. I think it is.
Why don't you go to Idaho?
I think it's a campaign strategy, but I don't think it's the kind that it's not like the asset. Oh my gosh, that Shapiro would have been. I think it's almost like they wanted to lose. This is something else too that I want to highlight. Like I was talking about David Muir earlier in the show, and sitting in my hotel room and flipping through the news and seeing David Muir just lie through his shiny white teeth about the Donald Trump, Liz Cheney story. Just so willful. It's like these people are not misinformed. They are the misinformers. There's a huge difference there between, oh, I didn't get the story right, or I see it differently, and just blatant, bold lies. David Muir is a freaking liar, and he's doing it intentionally to try to deceive you. Meanwhile, credit where credit is due. This is a K-file investigation on CNN, and listen to what they uncovered.
Tonight, mixed messages. A K-file investigation this hour finds Kamala Harris is targeting crucial battleground voters with vastly different messages on Gaza and Israel. This ad is running in Michigan, which has the largest Arab population in America.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent.
All right, well, it's a very different story for an ad in Pennsylvania targeting Jewish voters.
Let me be clear. I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself, and I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7.
So there you have Kamala Harris delivering two incredibly different messages in these two different swing states. The first one was Michigan, I think, and the second one was Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The Trump campaign should take those ads and pay to run them in the opposite states.
No kidding.
Yeah, or let CNN do it. I can't believe CNN's calling them
Good
out.
for them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good for them. I learned that from CNN.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Good for them.
That's, every campaign does this a little bit. They try to cater a message to voters. Those are almost converse opposite messages, though. That's what's so bad about it.
Oh, they intentionally are. In one side, she's saying this war must end now. She's talking about Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. That's what she's telling Michigan. And in Pennsylvania, she's selling the pro-Israel, pro-Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why she's not doing any press conferences, and folks, please, she did a press conference. She answers two questions underneath her plane. The reason why she's not doing a formal press conference is because that question asks itself. Madam Vice President, in Michigan, you're saying this. In Pennsylvania, you're saying that. What is your position on the conflict in Israel? Do you stand unequivocally behind Israel? And do you have a commitment to demanding from Israel to participate and lead in a ceasefire against Gaza? And then you go silent as the question asker, and you let her figure it out. And when she can't answer that question because she is lying out of both sides of her mouth, when she can't answer that question, that is the answer to the question. That's why she doesn't do a press conference, because this is not the only issue where she's speaking like this. She was asked this weekend about whether or not she voted on some tough on crime amendment 36 or something like that in California. She said she wasn't going to say because she didn't endorse one way or she doesn't want to endorse one way or the other. But she actually said out loud, I'm not going to answer that question because the election is in a couple of days.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's the first honest thing she said. I'm not going to answer it because she basically is saying, I'm going to answer this wrong for somebody, and I'm not willing to say it out loud.
She is the hollow candidate. I'm not going to commit to anything. Orange man bad.
You guys, we had a referee at a soccer game yesterday who was missing calls left and right. It happens, But somebody yelled like, hey, that was like a two-fisted push that you just missed right there. And he goes, you expect me to see everything?
Oh, that's definitely an official phrase.
We're like, yes, that's the only reason you're here. It just reminds me, Kamala, what, you expect me to comment on things?
How did you vote on Prop 36?
So my ballot is on its way to California, and I'm going to trust the system that...
Her answer, how did you vote on Prop 36? And her answer is, on my ballot. Nailed it.
It will arrive there, and I am not going to talk about the vote on that because, honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't intend to...
Yeah, that's when you vote, lady.
I'm not going to make policy comments right now. Are you kidding me? You know there's an election coming up?
An endorsement one way or another around it. So, but I did vote.
Do you know who my base is?
You see, the thing is, I'm telling you that I'm a prosecutor, but the other thing is, I fund people getting out of jail when they commit crimes. You can't ask me that question now. Who do you think I am? What do you think I'm trying to do? Serve the American people?
Kamala should lead every question she gets with, what state are you from? What organization are you with?
How'd that go?
Yeah, where's this going?
You're with who? You're kind of independent? Oh, okay.
How did you vote on Prop 36? Oh, with a ballot. Next question.
With a pen.
Let's take a quick break. I think we're going to get a Peanut update soon.
Oh, good.
Do you know about Peanut?
A little bit.
Are you sad?
No. But
you are a
only
Kamala
because
supporter.
I don't know enough about the story. I need to hear more.
All right. Well, stick around to go vote in the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Trump voter? Yes, you're a repeat Trump voter. You're a first-time Trump voter. You're not a Trump voter, or you're not a voter at all. We have 592 votes. We've never hit 600 in a poll before. Today's the day, maybe? Annie Fry YouTube channel. Go vote, subscribe. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
CassinsCan.com. I'm telling you the website right away because you can get to the business of shopping for your next vehicle right now online. Most people are shopping online for their cars before they ever make it to a dealership. Make sure that you include CassinsCan.com in your search. Cassins & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer is full of amazing people who understand prioritizing you and your particulars, your budget, your search, the vehicle that you want to fit, a family of 6 or maybe a joyrider, because it's finally time and you can't wait to acquire a new vehicle that you can trust, that it comes at a very great, fair price with people who you enjoy doing business with. We live in a time right now where we need to emphasize doing good business with good people. And I say that just very confidently that Cassins & Sons is a place where you can trust doing good business with good people. I know we'd like to shop around for the lowest price on everything everywhere. You'll drive far to get that low price. But if you're not going to get a good vehicle, if you're not going to get great service, what are you really saving? I shop at Cassins & Sons. We drive 2 vehicles from Cassins right now, a Pacifica and a Jeep, and we love them, we trust them, and I encourage you to check them out as well. Call them directly at 618-800-2712, 618-800-2712, or visit them online at CassinsCan.com.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or 2, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firm
firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town & Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
My name is Alad Gross, and I'm running to be your next Attorney General because our Attorney General sucks, and we really need a new one. He's wasted so much of our money and blown so many cases, he doesn't even keep count anymore. As Attorney General, I'll stop scam calls, crush corruption, protect our families and our freedoms, and shut down abusive puppy mills. This election, don't just vote for party. Vote for good government. Vote Alad Gross. Paid for by Alad Gross from Missouri, Frederick Doss, Treasurer.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
His tiny soul, not since the squirrel that was taught to water ski has a squirrel caught the nation's attention like this one. Now, this squirrel was squirrel napped and murdered by the state of New York, an absurd abuse of government overreach. There are 40 million rats or something in New York, and they executed the only one trained to wear a cowboy hat and had an Instagram account. My condolences to Mark Longo, who cared for Peanut for 7 years, and to the cowardly neighbors who filed the complaints about Mr. Longo's animals, which also included Fred the raccoon. I ask, why are you the way that you are? I hope you're happy, you monsters. R.I.P.
I'm not
Peanut.
I'm not.
Well, I'm here tonight to speak on.
That was Lonely Scott at CNN talking about Peanut the squirrel. Now, Brad or Ryan, when you go out of town, you end up talking about like the stories that cut through. The story of Peanut cut through my weekend. Being at the state volleyball tournament with my daughter's volleyball team, and I knew that there was a dead squirrel. I hadn't known that there wasn't a live squirrel. So that I only know about Peanut post-death. And so we thought that in the essence of journalism, that we would give Ethan like 90 minutes to figure out the bottom of the story. So with a Peanut report. Octonauts, people. You know.
Wiggins, I thought you were working on a little
intro,
little promo for that.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
He takes like weeks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I want to make sure that I get it right.
Okay.
It's for the next election, Ethan. Come on.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll make sure that
I'll do a generic squirrel one so it's not just Peanut.
Okay.
Anytime the government kills a squirrel.
You never know. You never know when it's going to happen. So, as you said, Annie, this was the story this weekend. I was on the road a lot with Lindenwood football this weekend, so you're doing a lot of scrolling on Twitter. And as I continue going on and on this weekend, I mean, it just completely overtook my Twitter timeline.
Mm-hmm.
People are equating this with the death of Harambe, the gorilla,
yes,
from a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that scene in Happy Gilmore where you look up at the sky and you see like the alligator?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
You're seeing like Harambe with Peanut the squirrel, and apparently there was another death that was owned by this guy, Mark Longo. Fred the raccoon also was killed as well.
Man,
so
that next dog that he adopts is going to be like side-eyeing him. Like, I don't know about this.
No kidding. So basically, you heard Scott there say a little bit of it, but just a couple of days ago, Peanut was taken from the owner Mark Longo's home because apparently there had been some complaints. We're not sure what specifically the complaints were, but he was taken from the home by the New York State DEC, and after being bit, I guess, when he was in custody, is that how you'd say that? When he was
Wait, who was bit? The squirrel or the person?
Someone was bit by the squirrel.
Because they took him.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not like they were over for tea and the squirrel came up and bit a person.
Like chewed through their neck.
No,
Correct.
they put the squirrel in
Okay.
cuffs and they took him away and they bit the person.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
So he was bit, and I guess that was in part with concerns of this animal may have rabies, the raccoon may have rabies. These are wild animals.
Didn't seem that wild to me.
Peanut was wild originally, but I guess he had like half of his tail had been cut off or something, and Mark found him when he was a baby, nursed him back to health, and just said, well,
Wow,
it's better-
criminal.
Yeah, I know, terrible person, right?
What a monster.
Thought it would be better just to keep Peanut himself rather than releasing him back into the wild. And he got really big on TikTok. I mean, they have, I believe, 1 million followers on TikTok.
Oh my gosh, this is a legitimate account.
They do all kinds of like funny little videos. But I mean, Peanut literally just like walks all over him all day long. Like he's on his head, and then he's on his shoulder,
I
and then
saw
he's
him
walking up
feed
his
him
arm.
shredded wheat.
And the state comes in and goes, we're going to shut this account down right now.
Yes.
People having a little too much fun over here.
But there's a wrinkle.
So we'll get there. So people are very upset because, there's how many illegal immigrants live in the state of New York City?
I don't know. But there's one less squirrel.
There's one less squirrel. Yes, this is true. So people have been like, well, this is how our taxpayer money is being spent. People are very upset about this, Ryan. Understandably, the government getting in the people's business as they do, and unfortunately resulted in the death of a squirrel and a raccoon. There is a little wrinkle, as Annie said. It recently came to my notice this morning.
It recently came to your attention while you were doing research on this topic.
Actually, I did research because of this.
Wow.
Annie mentioned, she said, I heard something about this guy having an OnlyFans page. It's like,
no.
what the? How did we get this mixed in
Oh,
with
no.
the death of a squirrel? So
you subscribed?
You
I
got
told
me.
him to do the
That's where it
research. I
goes.
told him we do the work here on the
And I
Annie Fry
said,
Show.
Annie, I will do whatever it takes.
He logged on the producer's computer out there, and it was already an account.
Oh, I told him to use yours, Ryan.
Like, what the heck is Carl doing in the morning
The
out here?
producer's computer. That's yours, Ryan. I've got some sound here. Do you want me to play the sound that you pulled?
Play
the
sound.
OnlyFans one?
Yes, play the OnlyFans one.
Okay, yeah, because he's been working on this all hour.
But I have an OnlyFans. I have an OnlyFans page. So this was something, not that it's relevant to this. It's not like I promoted on Peanut's page. It was a way for me to make the money I had to make to buy this place. Okay. So it was like, okay, some provocative photos, this and that. People enjoy me a little bit more on a different side of social media. It is what it is. It was an ample opportunity. It went much better than we anticipated, and it bought this property.
So actually two things. One, this adds a little bit of spice to this story, quite literally.
Pumpkin spice. Peanut spice.
Two, the property that he's talking about is he, I guess, purchased a animal rescue or created an animal rescue property where he is trying to make this more of a continuous thing where it's not just Peanut, it's not just Fred the raccoon.
Peanuts.
Nice. Nice.
That's what you do, though.
Nice.
I mean, if you want to rescue animals, you're like, well, I better sell my body.
That's why Ryan did it.
I can't afford it, you know?
It's the only way you could afford Johnny Donkin and the Funky Bunch.
So this rescue mission house, people called the police on the property.
It has not been made clear what part of this the people were complaining about. That has not been released. They were anonymous complaints to the state. So that part is not public. But yes, Peanut's life was lost as a result. Nice.
Peanuts.
Yes, Peanuts. So
And Peanuts owner person is the one who has the OnlyFans. It wasn't the squirrel.
no, the squirrel didn't have an OnlyFans.
People
Were you
asking,
getting confused?
There's a comment.
Okay.
Who had an OnlyFans account?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great
Wiggins,
report.
Ryan Wiggins.
That was a great report, but people want to know, like, at the end of this,
I said
who's got
even-
the
So,
porn?
well,
Is it the animals or is it the
Wait.
guy?
Time out. EV time out. Index fingers together. Because I don't know. Is OnlyFans always that, or can it just be some suggestive photos that doesn't go the full 9 yards?
I don't
Ryan?
know. Brad? You beat me to it.
I like the forward. I mean, I don't know who's going to admit. They're like, oh, well, pull up a chair. Let me tell you how this works, Andy.
Yeah, I don't know what you signed on. What you tell us.
But can't
Ethan.
OnlyFans just be like PG-13 stuff?
Subscription content.
Look,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell
honestly,
you this.
I think it's more so just in general subscription content. I don't even think it has to be
Right.
inappropriate
Like,
in any way.
I mean, there could be.
That's
my
obviously what it's
understanding
known for.
Is that there could be like things out there that people are into that aren't even like if we saw it, wouldn't even like know that this is intended to make somebody's day or whatever.
Look, I have a friend who's not me.
You have a friend?
who
Wyan Riggins.
who tells me that, yes, you can start an account on anything you want. Let's say you're really into knitting. But it's gonna drift into you taking your clothes off.
Because people pay for
Because that's
Knitting
what
with
they're
your
gonna
clothes
pay
off?
for. Yeah. Knitting your clothes
it.
off.
And you're
or
like
whatever.
knitting because you're cold, and obviously you would want to put some clothes on, so you knit.
Just seems
Right.
like common sense. to
People
me.
watch you knit your own clothing.
But this was his OnlyFans account was completely separate from any content to do with Peanut the Squirrel on his page. It was a separate
Don't
page.
let this distract you from the fact.
Because there were some concerns out there initially. When you start seeing this headline, you start thinking, whoa, what really was happening behind the scenes here with Peanut the Squirrel? Peanut was just a happy little squirrel, and now
I
he's a
don't know
dead
that
little squirrel.
any of this is going to hurt his OnlyFans page, which was the reason why I raised the question to Ethan, because he asked me if I had seen that story. And I said, what I am not willing to do is get all weepy over a squirrel where this whole thing was contrived to make this guy internet famous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing that game. Now, the detail that he has OnlyFans is a detail, like, I know nothing. I know enough to know that I don't want to know any more about OnlyFans. Whatever. But if the government is coming in, because it's like, this is the law you're choosing to enforce? Like, if this guy's got a squirrel and a raccoon in his house, I don't want to live in an apartment complex where squirrels and raccoons are living in the next place. Did he own his property? Did he rent his property?
That had not been. I had not
I
seen
don't know.
that specifically.
Yeah,
what I
haven't-
do know is the law that they said was broken is that they were owning wild animals that were not be allowed to be kept in homes.
So you take them and you kill them? It's like just the same thing they do with unwanted babies.
Ooh, I was gonna make a joke, but doggone it. Well, I'll still do it.
Wait.
Not about that.
Timeline cleanse.
Yeah.
What is our delay? 8 seconds?
Yeah, we got
5
about
seconds?
5,
Let's-
6
wait,
seconds.
let's get a 3-second cleanse.
Okay.
Joke.
Okay. All right.
This better be funny.
Does it say how they killed Peanut?
They euthanized him.
How? Did they storm into the house and start shooting?
No, that's not you.
Did they put in
Did
a
they
little
treat him like he was Roger Stone?
electric chair?
Paws against the wall.
Yeah. Tiny guillotine.
Peanut said, let them eat shredded
right.
wheat.
Right. Or public humiliation. Put him in the stocks, let everybody see what he's done, and then kill him.
What did he do?
I'm just asking, as the person who's the authority, if you knew how they killed.
No, my
the squirrel.
investigation was. It couldn't get that
It
deep.
got hung up on the
unfortunately.
OnlyFans, didn't it?
And when I'm president, I'm going to give a national day of mourning for Peanut the squirrel. Quite frankly, Peanut was the most beautiful squirrel. The radical left killed Peanut like a dog.
That is an AI clip.
So let me quickly explain that. This weekend, this became pretty popular in my friend group chat, and I said, I need Trump AI comments on this immediately. I can hear what he would say in my head. And not even 2 minutes later, this gets sent in the group chat, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. All right, let's take a quick break. I don't know what that does for you and your peanut love, but when I heard the OnlyFans wrinkle, so to speak, I thought, what? I don't know about this. When we come back, I want to talk about Jason Kelsey. Did you guys see that story?
No.
Jason
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. This is wild, and I just saw the headline up on TMZ about this Jason Kelsey altercation that took place. We're going to discuss here in the studio whether Jason Kelsey is a bad guy or not for this. Stick around. More Annie Fry Show and the wrap-up to the YouTube poll, Are You a Trump Voter? As soon as we come back. Don't go away. We'll be right back in a minute.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Retirement Advisory Group, you find them online at retirementkey.com. If you are transitioning from that place where you've been working your butt off and you're getting right to the moment where you're thinking, I think I'm ready to do this. I think I've done everything I need to do. Well, it's different to just save, and sacrifice. When you've got to transition into retirement, you want to make sure that you've made the right moves. And that's where Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw come in and guide you through that process to make sure you've executed what you need to execute correctly. You can contact them directly by calling 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, and tell them that Annie Fry sent you. They'll be glad to set you up with a free retirement review. It doesn't cost you a thing to go through this process. When you're nearing retirement, they will guide you through the steps that you'll need to take in order to secure everything so that you do have that exhale, that worry-free retirement. You can call them at 314-993-9494, or you can visit the Retirement Advisory Group online at retirementkey.com.
Right now, 38 states allow for sports betting, including 7 of Missouri's neighboring states. Amendment 2 gives Missouri sports fans the freedom to bet on games too, and that will generate over $100 million for our schools without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and Missouri's 2 professional soccer teams, the KC Current and St. Louis City. These days, Republicans and Democrats don't agree on much, but the Republican and Democratic candidates for governor are both supporting Amendment 2 because it means more money for education. Amendment 2 isn't like the lottery. There's a strong constitutional guarantee. The new money from sports betting will go to our schools. $100 million for education without raising property taxes. Amendment 2 is endorsed by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and the Kansas City Star. Vote yes on 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education. Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-296-3315. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-296-3315.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
Supporting your nutrition should be easy.
That's why we created the Neovitin Women's Multivitamin monthly subscription. Get your daily Neovitin Women's Multivitamin delivered directly to your door every month. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time with no long-term obligations. With B vitamins to support energy, vitamin D for bone support, and our physician-formulated proprietary blend, Neovitin Women's Multivitamin is here to support your nutrition every day. Start supporting your nutrition and sign up for a monthly Neovitin Women's Multivitamin subscription today at neovitin.com.
Is your home ready for the holidays? Beat the holiday rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online anytime at ZeroResSTL.com.
Are you a Trump voter? People are voting in droves. Early voting, you could call it, on the YouTube live chat poll today. Are you a Trump voter? Repeat Trump voter is the first option. First-time Trump voter is the second one. Then it's not a Trump voter or not a voter at all. Those are your 4 options. Let us know what you're going to do either today or tomorrow. It's 2:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Good afternoon. It's Mark Reardon. A gloomy day in St. Louis, but that is not stopping people from standing in line to vote. Rick Stream, GOP Director of Elections for St. Louis County, is going to kick things off when we start here after Fox News at 3. Josh Hammer joins us, Senator Schmidt in the 3 o'clock hour, Batya Angar Sargon. We got Cusimano this afternoon, and a full slate beyond that, plus an audio cut of the day. It all gets started right after Fox News.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair toss, check my
This
nails.
is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thank you for being here. Guys, the next time we open a segment, it will be Election Day.
Wow. It's true. Unless
What?
Mark Reardon doesn't show up.
Well,
which I'm not anticipating.
Collectively, because I am getting out of here.
Oh, okay.
We are going to have great fun tomorrow night. Hopefully positive outcomes to celebrate together, but we're all going to be watching it. Everybody's going to be glued to the results. So this evening, I'm going to put out our live stream so that you can reserve your spot, get a reminder when we go live. Brad and Ryan are going to come over to my house tomorrow night, and we are going to have a watch party. We're going to report things throughout the course of the night. And, I mean, the truth is that when we say we're going to report it, we're going to be watching the same thing you are, and we're going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you said this on Thursday when I was here last, but, like, the way, this is where we connect with our audience, our viewers, listeners, like our friends, you guys, the most is on these types of nights because we're not on the air broadcasting in 97.1. Mark Reardon is going to be covering that top to bottom with a great panel and cast of guests that he's going to have on there. So 97.1 will have those results for you. We'll have Fox News live coverage as well. We're going to go to those national coverage with Fox News, so you're going to be able to hear that. But we are more so, we are hanging out with you that night. So you're going to be getting your results from everywhere you're getting your results. But that night, we are there to hang out with you. So please come join us that evening. Before we get to the YouTube live chat poll results, which, Ethan, I don't know if you peeked, but we have 671 votes in this poll today. That's outrageous and wonderful. Thank you to everybody who's come to vote in the poll. Are you a Trump voter? Repeat Trump voter, first-time Trump voter, not a Trump voter, or not a voter at all? We want to know what you got. So Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can vote. The poll is located in today's live broadcast, live chat. Did you guys hear the Jason Kelce altercation? Ryan, did you say you hadn't heard anything about it?
No, I did see it.
So Jason Kelce was walking. Was he going to a football game?
They were doing what is that show with
College Game Day?
Game Day.
He did Game Day,
and he did a kickoff for charity and missed twice
with McAfee
Yes.
or whatever. That guy's
Yep.
nuts. I
He's
kind of enjoy
amazing.
him. My husband said to me he was watching College Game Day, and like if there was a flyover at the end. He said Pat McAfee like kind of said off the cuff under his breath, "Good to know we still have those."
It's him and Nick Saban is a beautiful
Yes,
combination
yes.
because
Oh my
Nick
gosh.
Saban went from the former head coach of Alabama, went from being the most serious person in college sports, and Pat McAfee has absolutely broke him. Like a back-to-back weeks, he has fed him food. Like, let's see what he wore a Penn State Nittany Lion like onesie last week. I mean, like Pat McAfee is doing things to Nick
It's
Saban.
entertainment. It's great entertainment.
It's amazing.
And I love it when he's like, "Good to know we still have those." I was like,
awesome.
Was that a political comment? I think it probably was. Maybe it
definitely
wasn't.
was.
Whatever.
It definitely was.
So Jason Kelsey is moving from point A to point B. He's out in a crowd. I mean, he's Jason Kelsey. Does he need to be surrounded by people to like protect him or whatever? He's got a few people with him, but he's a certified BA, so he doesn't need to have like Taylor Swift might have people flocking to her to touch her or whatever it might be, hurt her maybe. So Jason Kelsey's brothers, Travis Kelsey, Kansas City Chiefs tight end, so on and so forth. Travis Kelsey, if you like, the only thing that people know more than the fact that Donald Trump is running again for re-election is that Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift are dating. Like, that is, you can't not know that. You definitely know that Taylor Swift is dating a football player. So this guy is following at a fast pace Jason Kelsey and keeps repeating the phrase something like, what do you think your brothers, and uses the F word that's not the 4-letter F word, but a slur for dating Taylor Swift. So he's accosting Jason Kelsey, calling Travis, Jason's brother, a slur word to insinuate an insult, of course, because he's dating Taylor Swift. And eventually Jason Kelsey has enough of it, turns around, grabs this guy's phone, slams it on the ground, and says, "Who's the F now?" And this is so frustrating to me because I just saw this on our TV that we have here in the studio, and TMZ is on right now. I guess it's on in the 2 o'clock hour or something. The lower third, so this is all I can read. I'm not reading the closed captions. I don't see what it is. I can't hear what they're saying. But the lower third is Jason Kelsey uses homophobic slur in altercation.
What?
Yes. Isn't that outrageous? I'm here to say, Jason Kelly, like, if you chase after me and you are yelling at me because of my brother, and you start insulting my brother, I want to live in a country where I can handle that by giving you back what you deserve. Like, there's a little bit of an FAFO that we have totally set aside right now in our culture because everybody's so soft. Like, why should anybody be able to run up on Jason Kelsey? You don't know the guy. He doesn't know you. You don't know him. Why should you be able to run up on him, insult his brother, call his brother bad names, and just like get away with it? He didn't hurt the guy. He took his phone and smashed it. Okay, maybe you want to get a new phone out of it. But like, doesn't that guy kind of deserve what he got?
I agree 100%. If somebody came up to me and they screamed and they were like, nobody talks about my brother if I'm standing there. Nobody does. And that's reciprocated. Nobody talks about me if my brother's standing there. It's one of those things where that is family and you absolutely defend family. And why are we letting this kid off the hook for acting like a total jerk? We shouldn't let him off the hook. It's the find out message of it. And this is how young men learn what is and is not appropriate behavior. And the fact that he only lost a phone out of it.
Yeah.
Also, if I am a larger man, a football player.
How big do you have to be able to get away with that?
If I had ever played in the NFL or even college, I would probably do this all the time, even if nobody called me a name.
Just because you could.
Just because I could.
Ethan, Jason Kelsey, is he a victim or is he a bad guy?
I mean, like, this is kind of an in-between one because I think that it can be two separate things where you're saying he didn't handle it the best way possible, but also he has a right to defend himself.
But you understand.
Yes.
Maybe an explanation, but not an excuse.
Yes.
YouTube live chat poll results. Oh my gosh. 701 votes.
Let's go.
Thank you so much.
That's cool.
Real quick, the results.
Are you a Trump voter? 85% say repeat Trump voter, 5% first-time Trump voter, 7% not a Trump voter, and only 3% not a voter.
You're a voter. You voted in the poll. Now go do it at the polls. Guys, see you on Election Day. Tomorrow, we make America great again. Mark Reardon next.
Are
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Missouri's Amendment 3 is cleverly worded to convince you that it only allows abortions until fetal viability. But it has loopholes that allow for abortions through all 9 months of pregnancy. Abortion proponents used to say safe, legal, and rare. But now they want abortion as common as the morning after pill. Plus, minor-age children will have access to sex change surgeries without parental consent. Vote no on Amendment 3.
Paid for by Leadership for America PAC, John B. Royal Treasurer.
It's time to start thinking about your holiday parties right now. Mark Cox here for my friend Grill Master Tony. His schedule's starting to fill up. Make your parties easier and tastier with